that the Hearts for Health Integrated Care Center is open.
Oh, I've been very excited about that. I have been a board member for 13 years, and integrated care has always been a passion of mine. And so I have been involved with this since almost the beginning. But what I'm excited about is the benefits that it's going to present for our community here in Wallowa County.
And what are some of the positive impacts that you believe the new building is having on our community?
One of the things is access. That is always critical in my thinking. And the other thing is
Sorry, we're filming and Gay's mic'd up, and we're almost done. So should we, anywhere besides this room.
Do we want to start over? No, that's okay.
Nope. So
we can cut it.
Start at, so I'm going to ask you the question, and so maybe say the positive impacts this building is having on our community is.
Yes,
or
okay.
are.
Yeah, positive impact is access. And the other thing is it takes a lot of the stigma away from things like if you're going for counseling or everything. So when somebody shows up, you don't know if they're here for a medical appointment, a dental appointment, a counseling appointment. And it is something that I feel the community has owned, and therefore it is theirs.
Wonderful. Are there any specific spaces in this new building that you have especially enjoyed using?
Yes, yes. Well, to quote our dear friend Michael Wilson, I feel that I like the multi-use areas like the conference room, like the kitchen. I like the little, the two-way mirror room where you can sit and watch. And so I love all of those spaces because it is everyone's space.
Perfect. Perfect. Is there anything else you want to add that you feel like you forgot?
I don't think so. I am really, really excited about integrated care and that it is here in Wallowa County. Perfect. So thank you.
Thank you, Gay.
Okay.
All right, rock and roll.
Now we can tell everybody they can come back in.
So what I'm thinking for the meeting
yes.
is
Yeah, it is.
No road noise.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's really nice. Yeah, there's a horse.
I think we're rolling here. Yep, all's good.
Okay.
Act like life isn't shitty every day.
Okay,
Are we ready?
go ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name is Shantae Jett, and I'm the Executive Director for Wallowa Valley Center for Wellness. This Hearts for Health project has been an amazing feat of fundraising, what should I say, fundraising efforts?
Yeah, you could say fundraising efforts and community support.
Okay, great. Hi, my name is Shantae Jett, and I'm the Executive Director for Wallowa Valley Center for Wellness, a partner in this capital campaign for Hearts for Health. This project has been an amazing collaborative effort of lots of hard work, lots of time, lots of tears, lots of sweat, and so much fun. It is the first time either one of our organizations, Winding Waters or Center for Wellness, have ever had the opportunity to raise funds for anything locally. This project, this building, gave us the opportunity to do that. And in 4 events, with about 84 people at each event, we were able to raise over $1 million in community support for this project. This is unheard of.
Yeah.
What else should I say?
I think just express gratitude.
Okay. So can I start from there because you guys
Sure.
can edit
Yeah.
it all together?
Yep.
Okay. I just want to take this time to express deep, heartfelt gratitude towards all the people that have volunteered their time in the fundraising steering committee, volunteered staff time for efforts in pulling off this huge capital campaign over the last 5 years, and for the community support and the amount of giving that you were able to give. This is an amazing project, and we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much. Okay. All right.
Can't really think of anything else. I mean, it's just like there's so much that we're trying to pack into this.
Right.
That it's just going to be short.
Just
snippets.
super short. That's what I was thinking. You could just edit those two together and be done. Yeah.
And part of it will not. It'll just be your voiceover. With
Oh, yeah.
The different
Perfect.
shots of the different fundraising.
Okay.
And we have some great footage from the 18
fundraisers.
and 19, and
Okay.
then we have some footage from the first one.
Okay.
So
And if you put that together and you decide it's not quite it, and you want me to.
You weren't recording that about the whiskey, were you?
No, I won't.
Okay.
And that's part of the deal. We're
This
just,
is our dental hygiene.
there's no blackmail.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. I am going to check the audio. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me when you're ready.
You're rolling. Good to go.
Okay.
As long as you can't see me.
How you doing, Kathy?
I'm doing well, thank
Good.
you.
So kind of talk about why you're most excited now that the building's open.
I'm most excited to see it come alive. I've been over a couple times and watched the construction, and I know it's everybody's dream and vision, but to actually open it up and see it come alive with patients in and out, and because it will be, I think, a safe, comfortable place for everybody in our community to seek health care.
What does it feel like to work here in the building? What does it feel like?
Well, right now it feels very sterile, and that's the thing I'm most excited for is the people coming in, and I need to stop because I got to think about what my answer would be there.
I think like you've been working in here. So what does it feel like in terms of?
It feels like family. I feel like I can walk in down any hallway and I'm comfortable. I feel like a real part of our health community.
And what kind of positive impacts do you think this building is having on patients now that you're serving them here?
I think probably mostly for our community that has not been able to receive services anywhere because of insurance limitations or financial limitations or just plain fears of seeking dental work. And that's the thing I'm most excited for, is the people that just are putting their foot in the door for the first time. Not so much that they're coming in and staying, but that we can get them back, because that's my goal.
Trying to think of anything else. Is there anything else you feel you want to add about why this building has been so significant?
You know, there is, and let me see. Like I said, for me, it was bringing the vision to life. It's a vision that is here now. I think for me, it's instilling trust, instilling trust in our current clients and patients, and hopefully that they'll bring their friends and family along too and see what we have to offer.
Anything else you want to take from Grady for a question?
To start you off with, just so I can have it in there, if you wouldn't mind saying your name and spelling it,
Okay.
and just your title.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm Kathy Lathrop, Lathrop, and I'm a registered dental hygienist.
Kathy with a K.
Yeah.
And then after that-
One of the other things I would like to
Yeah,
say,
what else do you want to
and this was just something that it's kind of self-serving to me, is that I've been a hygienist for 45 years in private practice, and being in a community health center, it's like starting my first day on the job, and it's a whole different experience. People have asked me what the difference is. I said I leave my ego at the back door and I pick up my heart, and then I come to work, and it's very rewarding.
Excellent. That is perfect.
good.
Yeah. Thank
Oh, are
so
you
much.
sure?
Yes.
Just a little stumbly there.
No. That is
Okay,
really good.
just a few bites,
Just
right?
a few bites. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
You don't need a ton
Okay.
of.
Out there, and at some point from last time I'd been there, and then it had had a forest fire go through. So like 90% of it was just exposed. Like it sucked.
So much sun.
Oh, it kicked our butts. It
Yeah.
wasn't even fun at all. It was just,
That's the hard part. And it's been
yeah,
so
needed
hot
to.
though. This summer's been so consistently warm.
Okay.
For the last summer.
Made it a little bit more comfy for you, but
No,
I think
I'm
we do
good.
want you looking into the camera,
I know,
so
so-
if Amy can,
I'll move over.
yeah.
You
Okay.
look like you're talking to me.
Am I looking at her or am I looking at the camera?
We'd rather you looking into the camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at
Most of it's going to be covered. We're going to show you and then cover it up with footage, you know, but short little blips is really
Okay.
what this is.
Awesome.
Are we bumping anything? Okay. How you doing, Brandon?
Good. Thank you. Thank you.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're here. What are you most excited now that the building is open?
Probably the biggest thing I'm excited about is just the access that my clients will have to all kinds of health services. So they're here seeing me as a therapist, but then if they have a health concern, then we can do a warm handoff over to medical providers, or if they have a dental pain going on, we can get that warm handoff done. So it just creates an environment where people can really have their whole health addressed in one place without having to set up multiple appointments at different locations where they have to travel around. So that's what I'm noticing is most important.
Excellent. What positive impacts do you believe this building is having?
I think it gives people a big access to health and to care. For a lot of people, I think they don't get all the health care they need because of having to set up multiple appointments at different locations. And so the ability for them to come to one location to have all these health needs met, I think, is increasing those people that normally wouldn't get health care or to have different things addressed to come in and get their health taken care of.
Any spaces you've been enjoying using?
I'm really looking forward to using the conference room because I organize our annual CIT, the Crisis Intervention Team training. And so we'll be utilizing that space to provide that training to local law enforcement and first responders. So really looking forward to having a nice place to do that training.
Anything else you would like to add about why you think this building is changing lives?
I think the big thing for me when I heard about this building being built and just through the process is, again, having a place where people feel comfortable getting their services met. That when they come here, it's maybe not be for physical health, maybe it's for mental health, maybe it's to have dental work done. And it just helps reduce the stigma of different mental health care. And I think it opens the doors for more people to come in and have their health needs addressed.
Wait a second.
I know. Of course they're mowing.
But we can just have you say your name and spell it, and what your title is or what you do.
So Brandon Miller, common spelling.
Cool.
So
ER.
yeah, ER. I am a counselor at Center for Wellness. I'm a CSWA with my licensure, and do crisis counseling, outpatient counseling.
Perfect.
Mowing the yard, get the lawn looking good.
Everything's happening. Buildings in use. Okay.
That's awesome. It's a good thing.
Let's do that last question again.
Oh man. Okay.
Why do you think this building is changing lives here?
To me, I think it's making a big difference for people accessing health, and whether that's for mental health or physical health or dental, just reduces the stigma of going to a mental health building to have health done. I think a lot of people would avoid that. So the fact that that's all kinds of services being offered here reduces stigma and increases people's likelihood of coming in and getting their health needs addressed.
Okay, perfect. I think that's it.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
That was
really
painless.
good.
Test, test. Testing 1, 2.
Gotcha. Loud and clear. We're all good. Unless there's a car that drives by.
Yeah, if one does, I'll just stop and wait for it to go by.
Yeah.
How do you sync back up the audio with the video?
You can hand sync, or we run a program called Pluralize that'll do it all for you as long as you have audio waves.
That's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So it matches the audio waves from the Zoom thing to the camera?
Yeah, so these are just this one's shotgun, that one I've just turned up the internal mic.
Yeah.
And then you just drop it in there and hit sync, and it all just and then it
That saves so much
exports it.
time.
Oh yeah, and exports it out as just a sequence. And yeah, for weddings, when we're using maybe 5 or 6 cameras,
Holy crap.
it's huge. Instead of hand syncing and
Oh, I remember it.
yeah. All right, well, just if you would say your name and spell it and what your title is, and then Amy will take over there.
Sure. Mike Midlow. I serve as the program director at Fish Trap. My name is spelled Mikemidlo.
Okay. How you doing, Mike?
Great. I'm looking at the camera, right?
Looking
At the lens?
camera.
Got it.
Yes. What are you most excited about now that the center is opening as a community partner?
What am I most excited about with the center as a community partner? Well, it's just inspiring to see the cohesion of the healthcare centers coming together to provide health services in one place. For folks to be able to go drive into one parking lot and see their dentist and their doctor and their mental health pros, and just to have this integrated healthcare is really inspiring. It not only is just for the people that for the healthcare providers, but also just for the people of Wallowa County as the car goes by. I'll start it again. I could do a second take anyway.
Oh yeah.
Could you ask me the question one more time?
What are you most excited now that the center is opening as a community partner?
Well, the first thing is to have this one-stop shop and how the medical and health providers in Wallowa County have come together to provide a one space where people can get all of these services. It's really a beautiful way. It shows the cohesion and the community effort and just the cooperation of all of the healthcare providers in the county, and in turn provides a better experience for the people of Wallowa County.
What are you most excited about using as a community partner? What space specifically are you most excited about?
Well, Fish Trap is a literary arts and humanities organization. You might be wondering what we would be doing in this space, but the center has provided a community space, a shared space where folks like Fish Trap and other organizations can come and build community by having events and inviting folks. One of the wonderful things is it is a safe space. It's a modern space. It has modern facilities. There's a parking lot with lights. You can't get that in a lot of places in Wallowa County, and I think with that it has more accessibility and inclusion so more people can enjoy events, not only from Fish Trap, but from organizations throughout the county and beyond.
What positive impacts do you believe this building is going to have on the community?
Well, one, the positive impacts just start by showing how the community has come together and agreed that this is an important facility to have. People will be able to come to this, say the name of the place again?
Hearts for Health Integrated Care Center.
One more time?
Hearts for Health Integrated Care Center.
Well, the Hearts for Health Integrated Care Center says just what it is. It's an integrated care center for all sorts of different, for people to come and get all sorts of services from dental, mental health, physical, and I think it's going to the doctor is a stressful thing. And if you can go to one place that feels good, and by feels good, I'll finish it up here in a second. By having an integrated healthcare facility, it's not only the services it's provide, but it's the intentionality that they did in creating it. You walk into the space and it feels good. It was created with a lot of thought, from the color of paint on the walls to the light fixtures to just being able to walk around. Confidentiality. I was really impressed walking through at just how comfortable the place feels, and hopefully not only for the healthcare providers, but for the people who seek its services.
Anything you feel, anything else you want to add that you think this building will do to change lives? Or is changing lives?
Well, one, I think what this facility might do to change people's lives is simply just to show that healthcare is important to the people of Wallowa County. So are Chevy Blazers, bicycles. Oh, it's a Suburban. What I'm trying to I guess what I'm trying to say is not every community of this size in the United States has a facility like this. And what it shows is that our community has come together to say that this is important, not only for healthcare, but for building community.
That's good. That's it.
It's a wrap.
Perfect. Nice job, Mike.
All right, Amy.
Okay.
I think we're all good. Can we turn this off for a second?
Yeah, you should be able, it's all kind of central. We can try.
Yeah.
And then see if you can get that one open. It's like central through Allow Resources. No, there's not one on here on this side. And I can get Annie to stop photocopying for sure. Like that one,
Oh, yeah.
nope, there's no switch to switch it off. There used to be.
Yeah, looks like it's broken.
We need a different spot, Grady.
We can go to a
This is
different.
too noisy.
I mean, it's gonna be quick if we get.
So Annie, could we not photocopy for a few?
Really good, yeah.
Thank
I
you.
should be okay.
Okay.
Let me check it.
Yeah, let's check it before we get too involved.
Let me sing or something real quick.
Yeah, you can start talking.
So, I'll get you dialed in on where to stand there and all
'Kay.
this in here.
Make sure you don't have all that
Oh,
background.
you went back pretty much.
You told me the corner. It was easy
Yeah,
to
yeah, perfect.
easy to figure out.
We're gonna remember.
Fast study here.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Hey Lou, well, can you do me a favor? Can you take this piece of paper back to Miss Megan in the preschool and Tiara? And then Mommy's gonna have her 2 minutes of fame.
All right.
Anyway, Amy, like,
All kinds of
1 second.
kind of restart of.
Okay,
ready.
go ahead.
What are you most excited about now that the center is open?
I'm excited about all the partnership possibilities, from parent education to early childhood programming, kindergarten readiness. I just think there's so many doors opening to getting families together in a common space for lots of different purposes.
Excellent. What positive impacts do you believe the building is having on our community?
I think we've seen positive impacts already. People coming together, getting services through one door, not having to go through several different entities. I think having a family-friendly space will improve health outcomes, both behavioral health, mental health, and just overall social well-being.
Excellent. Any specific spaces you've been enjoying using?
So I'm really excited. We've done warm handoffs with Winding Waters when parents need additional support to get kids up to speed in terms of development. So we've created a couple of themed rooms that are super kid and family friendly. It allows medical staff to pass off families to us for parent education in a place that's warm and inviting for kids, and just kind of gets them learning already based on the toys in the room and on the wall.
Anything else you want to share about why you think this building's changing lives?
I think it's been a long time coming, but it's been amazing to see the dream kind of become a reality. I think for our small community, a space like this really can be life-changing for some of our families.
That was perfect.
Bro.
Yeah.
My kids were so funny. I was like, I have to pull up those questions. And they're like, you didn't look at the question?
Out your like facial kind of expressions.
Right, yeah, totally. Yeah, she can pick up on those now for sure, so, yeah.
Yeah, she's got big.
I know, yeah.
Monica was like showing, she came to see Dana, and Dana said hi, and yeah, she's chatty, and she had her like huge stuffed animal with her.
Oh, yeah, right. Yep, yep.
Are we good with fixing the car back?
Yeah, it's pretty good as long as, I mean, if someone rips by, we'll stop, but
Okay.
other than that,
So with regular car noise, not too bad.
hasn't been bad. With diesel.
Those diesels, yes, right.
Diesels, yeah.
All we had to do was mention it, that's
I
for
know.
sure.
I know.
It's not that, it's an airplane. It's like when we were inside the other day, it's like a big airplane.
Oh yeah.
Alright, first off, you'll just say your name and spell it, and then you
Okay.
say that you're a doctor or whatever your title
Whatever
is.
your title
and
is at Winding Waters.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And you're good to go.
All right, Jeff Malley, Geoffmaly. I'm a family medicine physician. I'm the medical director at Winding Waters Clinic.
Excellent. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing great, Amy.
Good. What are you most excited about now that the center is open?
Let's repeat that in a second. Do you want me to be looking at you, or do you want me looking at
Yeah,
the camera?
if you look at me, you're like looking right at the camera.
Okay.
And just remember to answer with the question, so you'd say I'm most excited about.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
So yeah, what are you most excited about now that the center is open?
Yeah, I'm most excited about being in the same place with the Center for Wellness staff. We've been really looking forward to being able to share space and be in the same physical space. I think we make lots of phone calls and do lots of messaging, but being in the same physical space really is nothing beats that. So it's also a beautiful building. I think really excited about being in a new space together. So.
Excellent. What positive impacts do you believe that the building is having on our community?
Yeah, I think bringing together our mental health provider and medical team, I think really helps bridge that gap when patients need both services from mental health and medicine, which is really very frequently the mental health affects the people's health, and their health affects their mental health. So being able to reach out to people in the same building, I think really makes the experience for patients a lot better too. Not having to travel around town, and if people are in a crisis, coordinating needs from multiple different locations can be really challenging.
Excellent. Any specific spaces you're really excited you've been using?
Yeah, I love, so the spaces that I really love about the new building, I think the entryway is really inviting. It's really beautiful architecture. I think really inviting for families. There's space for kids to play, and I think really inviting a place for children and for families. The exam rooms are also bigger, which is really nice. We can sort of better coordinate having folks who are there for their own care and can bring their children along and not feel like their kids are stuffed in the corner, and it really makes I think makes it easier for people to bring their kids to visits.
Anything you else want to share that you think this building is changing lives?
Yeah, I think this building is a testament to a great partnership between our medical folks and behavioral health folks, and I really think that will help the health of our community, so I'm really excited about that.
Anything else, Grady, you want to?
I think it's good.
Good? Okay. Yeah, how's that feel?
Okay, it's great.
things people find in movies later.
Totally, it's like
Go,
the
wait a minute.
the bloopers that we show at the end.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, so if you just want to introduce yourself, Shantae introduced herself in her interview. I don't think the rest have,
Okay.
but just in case.
Yeah.
And then it's just really gratitude on behalf of both organizations around the support that we receive with the state legislators in
Yep.
advocating for us.
Yep. Yep.
And then also in the support for the reallocation of funds
Yeah.
when lottery bonds were no longer an option because of the COVID pandemic.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I've been thinking about how to say that.
Because that was huge. I mean, we're, as you know, lucky that we even got. So I'll stop talking.
I think you can stand right behind that camera and help them out there.
Okay.
And as long as you, your computer, maybe you can go in your other hand. Actually, just need to take one step to the right. Yep, you're
Like
perfect.
stand on that side of the tripod. Yeah.
But
I don't know.
if you look into that one, it'll be a nice shot. You got another camera here, and you're all good to go.
Do I look at one or either or
You can
none?
Look at Tosca or the camera there,
I would look
but
at the camera.
camera right there is the one we want.
Look at that one. Okay. Okay.
So we'll do sound check.
So just
Yeah, and I think we're good on sound check, but I'll
Okay.
double check.
Okay.
Go ahead and just, yeah, you can say your name
Sure.
and spell it and your title.
sure. Nick Powers, NICPOWERS, CEO of Winding Waters.
Perfect.
Oh, go ahead. That's hilarious. Hi, I'm Nick Powers, the CEO of Winding Waters Clinic here in Enterprise, Oregon. And now, how do you can cut it up, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
With both cameras, statements are the best.
Just
Yeah, one-liner.
define
couple
statements
lines,
and then
yep.
keep going. Yeah. Okay.
So you want to start with like on behalf of.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Nick Powers, the CEO of Winding Waters Clinic here in Enterprise. On behalf of all of our patients and our staff, and really our whole community, I want to thank the legislators that were essential in funding this project. We couldn't have done it without your support, and not just once with the lottery bond funding, but twice through the emergency funding that came with the event of the COVID-19 pandemic. What else, or more or different?
Like that actually states that we were awarded $2.5 million.
Okay.
And how key that was to this.
Okay.
day.
Sure. The the $2.5 million that you helped this community earn were a key part of making this nearly 20,000 square foot building a reality. In this building, we will be able to provide medical, dental, and mental health services that will make a difference for generations to come. Thank you for your support.
And then maybe just one more statement. Just on behalf of Winding Waters and Center for Wellness. In our gratitude or something.
It doesn't matter what I say. So
Let's wordsmith this.
yeah, it's not that big a deal. So I'll just start talking. On behalf of Winding Waters Clinic and the Wallowa Valley Center for Wellness, thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
I think, not to make you redo something, but I definitely heard.
Did that get us? Darn it.
And I know that's one of your things.
It did what? It,
Well, I don't know what they're doing, but it was a thumping
yeah.
noise. I just don't want to have to bring you out again.
I'm glad you caught that. I forget how sensitive those mics are.
I mean, yeah. It's made to catch just as boys, but
Yeah. Yeah, they're using a ratchet to put things together.
all right. One more.
And you could even like go as far as to say with the support of, sorry, with the support of the Oregon legislators, including Senator Bill Hansel, Senator Elizabeth Steiner Hayward, Senator Betsy Johnson, Representative Greg Barretto, we were able to secure
Sure.
our full request of $2.5 million directly due to their support or your
Sure.
support or something.
Sure. And I can just start there, right? Like I don't need to.
Yep.
And it's rolling, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Just make sure that you use the 2.5 million.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ask them to stop.
I think we're all right. Let's see if we can fit it in here.
With the support of Senator, oh my goodness, I'm going to mess up their names. Yeah. We so appreciate the support of Senator Bill Hansel, Senator Elizabeth Steiner Hayward, Senator Betsy Johnson, and Representative Greg Barretto in securing the $2.5 million state award that really helped to make this project possible. And not just once, but twice. After lottery bond funding was delayed, the emergency funds that made this project whole are a big part of what will open this building today. I'm tipping over. I should have stopped talking. I'm like, dang it.
Some of it, like, we're not gonna use like you tipping over, but we can still use the like
Sure.
words, right?
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Sounds.
Most of it's covered. It's not gonna be a talking head.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're only going for 2 to 3 minutes on the whole piece.
Yeah.
On the whole thing. Okay.
So
Okay.
this will
Cool.
literally be like 15
Just
seconds.
patch stuff together. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool.
It's a lot
Great.
of work for 15 seconds.
So do you want me to do that again or some different shade of that,
I think
or
it's
not a big
okay.
deal?
I think it's fine. I think we have.
I can hear him.
Helping people with healthy cooking and eating.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, you know, and like, what an amazing thing that is to be able to give people that gift.
Most definitely.
Oh, can I take your sunglasses off? Your head? All these things.
As well. Is this in the shot here? Okay.
All good.
Cool. Let's see if it's there. Is the phone in the shot?
Yeah, you'll want it down.
Okay.
If you're planning on it, we are going to have it covered up, but I would just say, you know, at the start of your statements, be looking up without looking at it, and then if you are going to look down.
So if you do look down, before you start talking, make sure that you look back up and then talk straight to the camera.
Right.
So that you're not looking down and talking.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Really, really.
Okay. We're ready, Costa.
Okay.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Maybe I will just do my paper.
Sure. Whatever feels best to you.
Greetings.
Hi. He was in his little office right over here. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, I didn't see him in there.
Yeah, he'll probably be right back. He was just there.
Okay.
Or maybe not. He might be one forever.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Give me a couple seconds to review the question.
Yep.
That'll make me more comfortable to
Yes.
reply smoothly.
Absolutely.
Hello. We're good.
We'll be done quickly. All right, go ahead and ask the question.
Do you want me to ask you the questions or do you just want to read them?
Go for it.
Okay. So why is a community and teaching kitchen needed for those that you serve?
Well, what we eat is an essential part of our wellness. So food gives us energy and helps us body, mind, and soul. So if you imagine yourself in a gathering, where are your friends being located? It's always around the food, isn't it? So unfortunately, with a lot of our clients, they have a hard time struggling with eating habits. So a great thing about this teaching kitchen is we get the opportunity and to teach and learn from our clients at the same time on the epicness of wellness through eating. And once you start getting wellness through eating, you then start gaining wellness in all other areas of your life. Gives you energy, it's a social thing, and a community thing. So, yeah. So, therefore, the meals that we can make here inspires wellness in all areas of our life.
And that mic is still pointed at your face, okay? I mean, can you tell that it's...
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh, the rough part. That was rough to start.
Yeah, and the easiest thing to do is remembering that you can talk in little short segments because we will be able to edit it. You know, it's not going to be verbatim
Okay.
and the little short statements.
Okay. So maybe, I don't know your extent of editing capabilities, but if I could read through, like...
Yeah, you could read it just kind of like we're talking, if at the start of it, if you could be looking up, because if we show you, and then we'll cut to the shots of the kitchen and stuff, so
Okay.
that's kind of the thought on it.
Oh yeah, that would work.
So, yeah, do one of me talking
Yeah.
back and then one of just, oh my God.
Yeah,
And then you can edit whatever you want.
that totally works.
Cool. That'll help with the...
You're doing great. Being on camera like this is really hard. You're doing great.
Thank you. No worries. It's just, I'm used to a trombone in front of me, not,
Right?
not this.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, brutal. Okay.
All right. So what are the positive impacts that you believe the new teaching kitchen is having and will have on our community?
Well, you can't really affect one area of wellness without affecting all of them. So, yes, food is exciting. Let's do that. And that is a major area of wellness that we can improve on. So, thus, the new teaching kitchen is a great tool in helping our community by socially getting each other excited for wellness. This excitement leads to knowledge, which then leads to better eating programs and even other programs of wellness. Thus, a fun social food engagement is a smooth transition to a wellness in all other categories of our lives.
Awesome.
Don't bite my lip.
So do you think you're gonna actually be doing, like, working with your clients in here?
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
And so, I mean, that's just so exciting in itself. Like, if you're teaching people about healthy cooking and eating, you're literally helping change the lives, not be just one person, but entire families.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can somehow, like, add that in, that would be awesome.
So you want me to add in for this next segment?
Yeah.
Okay, so more of the family dynamic?
Yeah, so
Okay.
like just about the way, the
Got it.
ability to teach someone around nutrition
Yeah.
can literally change families' lives.
I will add the family dynamic.
Cool, sounds great. All right, so what are you most excited about in using the teaching kitchen with those who you serve, and how is it making a difference?
Yes. Well, I'm excited because I get to share my family recipes with other families that then can gain socialness by sharing those recipes to others, thus creating unity through community in a means of food. So part of this unity is also the excitement of having the opportunity to learn new skills. For instance, if I taught a family who loved the recipe and sat down together and enjoyed it as well, they would hopefully enjoy that encounter and go to a different family and spread the love of food there, thus perpetuating the wellness of community and of the families and of the individual, therefore.
Awesome.
So yeah. Let's see.
Is there anything else that we can say about like skills that we're able to provide by having a teaching kitchen?
Okay.
Like actual skills. I know like I got a lot of my teaching skills from my mom, but I feel really fortunate that I got that. You know, I know that a lot of people who we serve are people who are experiencing trauma or live in like low-income families may not get that. And so maybe if there's anything that you'd like to say about the skills that we're able to provide to clients and families in this community space.
Okay, so skills more on the cooking end is what I'm gathering.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. But like how these skills connect to wellness too, which you've already covered.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have something I can add on that. Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. So do you want to ask the question again?
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell me what skills you think that you can help our clients and their families gain here in this teaching kitchen.
Okay. Many skills, kind of like art, culinary skills are vast. People go to colleges, they go to universities, they become masters, they become chefs. There's so much learning and creativity that one can do just from the simple act of cooking with one another. So thus, if you are expanding recipes of wellness, you gain unity of community, which helps bring solidarity, peace, and strength of that community, thus able to take challenges that come your way because you have a large group of community that supports you.
Awesome. And then is there anything that you feel like you can speak to in how nutrition affects overall wellness?
So nutrition and wellness. Ooh, I'm pretty sure that most of us can definitely say that at some point in our lives we can say, oh, I actually was eating well at this time. I was exercising well at this time. It's all connected together. It's a matter of if you put good food in, you tend to get good results out. So eating good food gives you more energy, which perpetuates maybe exercise or community or engaging with others. So that then leads to better jobs, better finances, better, you name it. So by eating better, you start the cycle of wellness.
That was fantastic. Anything else? Would you like to read through this one time?
I think I got most of it, but
Okay.
yes, I would, mainly because the
Okay.
first part was pretty sketch.
Well, and there was some noise in the background too that we couldn't control, and so this will give us a
Clean slate for that.
clean read through for like as we use your voiceover for what happens, the magic that happens in the kitchen.
Certainly, and that was only in the first part, right? That we had background-ish?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
Cool.
All right, so, and if you could start by, because the question is, why is a community and teaching kitchen needed for those you serve? if you could start your answer with a community and teaching kitchen
Is needed
for those we serve because,
Okay.
then that
So
would
you-
give us a really great long statement to be able to use.
Okay. So you wanted
And
me to restate.
You can read off of your paper. You don't have to feel like you have to look up during this part.
Okay.
This will just give us a really clean read.
Cool. Can do that. I wasn't sure if you wanted me to restate that or not. So.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. Cool. Can do.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Do you want to start with her?
Yep, just
Question?
go ahead and start with
Okay.
a community and teaching kitchen, blah, blah, blah.
Got it. A community and teaching kitchen is needed because what we eat is an essential part of our wellness. Food gives us energy. It heals our body, mind, and soul. So, if you would, imagine having a gathering where do people congregate? Where do your friends gather? Yep, it's around the food. Unfortunately, the majority of our clients don't know how to prepare healthy meals. Lack of food knowledge is an obstacle for a healthy body and some social growth opportunities. The teaching kitchen is an ideal place to teach and learn to whip up new exciting meals that can inspire all areas of wellness.
Great. Let's do that one more time.
Sounds good.
Because you had boundary instead of obstacle.
Yeah, so
Want a pen?
Boundary works there though, doesn't it? Obstacle's better. Pen.
Yeah, there's one right there. If you want to change that.
Yeah, that's why I brought it in.
Oh, that's yours. You're so smart.
Yeah, obstacle's definitely better there. Okay.
Okay. And you can just read through that whole statement one more time.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Alrighty. Community and
That's okay. A community.
yeah, that works. A community and teaching kitchen is needed because what we eat is an essential part to our wellness. Food gives us energy and heals our body, mind, and soul. So, imagine if you would, when you're having a gather, where do your friends and people congregate? Yep, it's around the food. Unfortunately, the majority of our clients don't know how to prepare healthy meals. Lack of knowledge about healthy food is an obstacle to a healthy body and sometimes social growth opportunities. The teaching kitchen is an ideal place to teach and learn to whip up new exciting meals that can inspire all areas of wellness.
Great job. Yeah.
Between the two of those, it'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways,
Yep, and here we go, and go ahead.
as you can tell, we're under construction right now. We're not stopping for anyone. We're ahead of schedule. We're under budget, and we're going to move forward. But what I'm showing you today is the Learning Kitchen. Learning Kitchen's a big deal. You know, initially when we were doing this project, we were planning on having a commercial kitchen so we could produce a lot of stuff. But then we realized, how could it function doubly for the community? And so what we've done is we've created a Learning Kitchen where people in the community can learn to cook healthy foods, can do farm to table, can use it for catering events. It's multifunctional. And so what I'd like to give you a tour right now. It's kind of a mess because we're under construction, but we're not stopping for anybody. So here's the tour. Right here, basically, I'm standing on the island. The island's made to accommodate 10 or 12 people. It's going to be big. It's going to have a cooktop down here. There's going to be media on that wall, a screen where people can follow instructions, give instructions, but it's a two-way media screen, so it actually can look at you. So someone could give a distance learning course, or someone who's homebound is also able to participate in a class. So we have the island here, which is a big part of the function of the learning area. And then over in this area, we have a wraparound counter that goes all the way across the floor here, goes around behind where you guys are, and then it continues to a shelved area out there, and all the refrigerators and the likes will be over in the corner. But one important part of this kitchen is all the appliances are not commercial. They're going to be home-based appliances. For example, The stoves and the ovens are the type people use at their home. The refrigerators will be the type that people use at their home. The ovens and cooktops, similar situation. And so that allows us to still do catering, still do projects, but it also, the most important thing is the learning aspects of this kitchen. And so then over here, we have the pantry, which is going to store all the foods and the pots and pans and the supplies we need. And then sanitation's a real big important part. So in order to do the catering, right here there's going to be a separate hand washing sink, and in this room right here is the scullery, where all the dishwashing and sanitation of pots and pans will be happening. It's pretty exciting. It's something that we've dreamt about for a long time, and we're hoping that it's going to really serve the community on a number of facets.
Okay, and then just a one-liner as fast as you could. Explain everything that is available here. Instead of the, we've got cooking for kids, and cooking for, just hit them kind of like bullet points real quick too, just so I have those two.
So the type of activities that will be happening here, there's going to be a kids cooking class, there's going to be cooking classes specific to diabetics, or cooking classes that are specific to gluten-free or allergy-specific. Whole food. The Blue Zone is a big deal. Blue Zone and the hospital have kind of gathered together, and all the health agencies in the city are trying to work together. So there's going to be a big emphasis on Blue Zone cooking. There's going to be opportunities for people to have their catering here when they throw an event within the big conference room. So there's catering potential, there's cooking potential. We're hoping to have evening classes for kids. We're also trying to do medications and cooking as a come together as a way to help people balance their diet and their medications and their overall health. Trying to think what else there could be.
Okay, I think that's good, Lynn.
Okay.
We'll have a microphone that can just be passed to any of you that are speaking. So in the interest of getting your comments recorded, we'll have a microphone that can just be passed to any of you that are speaking. So we'll try not to have that very obtrusive. If we find out it is, we'll drop that idea.
It always makes me really nervous.
Those remarks on film, that'd be great.
I always think I'm an okay, not great, but an okay public speaker until something like this event and this building has come up. First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for making the long journey out here to visit Northeastern Oregon in our very isolated but beautiful county, and thank each and every one of you for taking time off from work in your busy days and making this happen. I think this is a great representation of the shared vision that we have for improved community health and looking at integrated health and whole body wellness. So I really appreciate all of you being here and your shared vision. It's interesting, Greg leaned over and asked, did you ever think you would be doing this? Getting all these people together and having these events and at first I thought, no, I've never visioned of myself as a fundraiser or being in a partnership that's so important that we're affecting people's lives on a daily basis. And if you would have asked me that 5 years ago, I don't think I could have predicted this. But I think that this has just been a dream that started a long time ago with Dr. Powers and our previous CEO, Stephen Cleaver. And from there, it's just blossomed. And with a partnership that we've had, people ask us all over the state and the nation now to speak about integrated and collaborative care. And they always ask, what's the secret sauce? And I said, as a community, we have been doing this as a culture since I was a kid in 1979 when we first moved here. And if anyone in any part of the community gets hurt or is in need, you have a freezer full of food and a list waiting to help you, or transportation or medical care or anything else that you need. So I think this simply is a vehicle to sort of express all of that in one place under one roof, and that's really exciting. Oh, sorry, do you want this?
I don't want
it. Okay. Yeah, I didn't want it either. Okay, you're gonna get it.
I need practice. They tell me I need practice, so. We'll get it close-ish. Something like that. So I'll also welcome you all. Thank you so much for coming. I know when we were planning this, we thought, well, people are busy. Some folks won't be able to show up. So we'll over-invite a little bit. And you're all here, and it's really exciting. I'm so pleased to be able to share what we're up to with the senators, but also with each of you. I want to give you a couple of data points, actually. I have a whole page that we could talk about, but a couple of data points and maybe a couple stories that Dr. Powers will share with us. A big step for Winding Waters was we became a federally qualified health center in 2015. Back then, we had been partnering with Center for Wellness for quite a few years, and we had 27 employees. We were serving about 3,000 patients, and became a federally qualified health center. And in those 3 years, we've increased our staff to 62 current full-time staff, and we've added 1,000 patients. We're now serving, in the last 12 months, we served 4,230 people in Wallowa County, where the total population is only 7,000 people. And then we served them with over 28,000 visits of various types, whether that was with a medical provider, a dentist, a counselor, a health coach, an acupuncturist, a denturist. We have this whole range of services now that we didn't have just 3 years ago. And it's been amazing to see what integration of care can do for our patients and for our clients, and for our staff. They are learning and growing in their jobs and in the work that they can do for their community, and it's so impressive. So would you please share a story, one of the ones we talked about, with what it's like to integrate care and to be on the front lines of that?
Oh, you're not going to make me put that on.
Just kind of hold that down. There you go.
Thanks. So one of the things about integrative care is that location matters. So what we know is when we make a referral to a counselor or to a substance abuse treatment program, less than half of the people who get those referrals will actually connect, will show up at a point of care where we can touch them and help them. And what we know is that that's really different when you can walk in the room and introduce the person that they're going to meet. I actually started that with Maria, with services for parents and for children, focusing on increasing early childhood education and kindergarten readiness, that we just were really having a hard time connecting our at-risk kids with some of the amazing services that Building Healthy Families has to offer. But when she walked in the room and I could introduce her or introduce some of her staff to the parents, then they would go to their classes and they were able to get some of those services. The same thing happened when Shantae was working as a health coach in our clinic, and I'm able to say, you know, I really want you to talk to somebody about what it means to cut salt out of your diet and how that's going to make it so I don't have to prescribe you a medicine. I saw a patient yesterday who says, gosh, the turning point in my health was really when Shantae talked me through shopping. For food, not for clothes. So we've seen that warm handoff makes a difference, and that can really only happen when you're in the right location at the right time. We have 4 dental operatories next to our physical exam rooms in our Joseph Clinic. And the other day, I was seeing patients, and a dental assistant came and grabbed me and said, Dr. Underhill really needs you. And I walked into the room, and he said, you know, there are some spots inside on the cheek, and I want you to look at it. And I said, okay, I'll look at that, but I'm also going to look in your ear. Does your ear hurt? Oh, yeah, actually, it kind of does. And this was a patient who presented with tooth pain who actually had shingles, which is a herpes virus infection that can have long-standing consequences if you don't treat it. And I was able to get her on the right medication to treat that problem. And yesterday, I was doing physicals at the annex and had 2 people walk in who needed to connect for a physical health problem, and because I was there, I was able to treat those problems. So location matters. We have the right players, we have the right partnerships, we have the community support for this. What we don't have is a place where we can all do it together.
Thank you, Dr. Powers. So reminding, this is a working lunch, so as your lunch comes out, please enjoy it. This next part of the program Thank you, Dr. Powers. So reminding you, this is a working lunch, so as your lunch comes out, please enjoy it. So I've got a list here I'm going to follow. This next part of the program, elected delegation, I want to be, again, mindful of your time. So I've got a list here I'm going to follow. Many of you here, and we thought it would be appropriate. So Jenny, you're going to be the first one to give just kind of a brief testimonial or summary, and we thought it would be appropriate. So Jenny, you're going to be the first one to give just kind of a brief testimonial or summary, if you will. You can basically take that and hold the microphone up. And then next up will be Maria, and we'll just progress through the list here, and then we'll throw it open to everyone. So again, please enjoy your lunch as it comes out. Our goal is to get as much information.
All right. Again, I'm Jenny Word, Chief Nursing Officer at Wallowa Memorial Hospital, and it's not on my name tag, but I feel I can mention I'm also a board member of Winding Waters, and enjoy that relationship that we all have. Work very closely with Shantae as well. Wallowa Memorial Hospital is very supportive of this integrated effort that Wallowa Valley Center for Wellness and Winding Waters is doing to have an integrated building. We believe that this would not only just improve the access for our local citizens to all areas of healthcare, but we feel it could potentially allow both organizations to double their numbers within 5 years. And as Nick said, that has happened, or had significant increase already. So we're excited to see what this could bring for them. And sort of along the lines of what Dr. Powers mentioned, you know, as a community hospital, we understand both the local disparity of a rural area and the stigma that sometimes goes along with seeking mental health services. And having this building with integrated services also on a campus of healthcare and wellness, that decreases that stigma. You can go access your care without worrying about what other people are going to see and think. So we're very excited for this project, incredibly supportive, and I think this is an amazing turnout. Great job.
Thank you, Jenny. We'll go next to Maria, and then after Maria will be Commissioner Paul Castiega. Well, hey, thank you. Glad you're there. Thank you, Jenny. We'll go next to Maria.
All right, so I'm Maria Weir. I'm the Director of Building Healthy Families. We are a nonprofit that provides family support services, parent education, and positive youth development. As Liz mentioned, this started years ago when we were trying to figure out how to connect our families. I have the opportunity to work with some of our highest risk families in the county and some of our most isolated families. And so how could we get them from our door into hers? And so we've been able to partner with staff in 2 different places, but it just hasn't felt the same. I'm so excited to have a family resource center as a part of this building, a place where we could help kids that are identified as maybe needing some more K-readiness skills on that same location with a classroom type space. I'm excited to be able to walk kids, as Liz mentioned. We teach the alternative ed high school. And so an example that we had in the shared kind of space we're working with now is we had a student that hadn't had a physical in about 8 years. He was very open with the nurse practitioner that he was smoking and that he would like to quit smoking. He'd seen the health effects on his parents and other people, and was able to connect in that very same space with a behavioralist. I don't think if I would have talked to him about quitting smoking, we would have gotten him to get the mental health that he needed. I also see it as a great place for parents to get support, whether it's you're trying to wait in the waiting room with your child and we could make the most of that opportunity, or maybe you're uncomfortable about seeking skills, or you're a client of DHS's and you don't want people to know there's child welfare involvement. Having a neutral, safe space where everybody can come together without judgment, and just an avenue where lots of different services can meet.
Thank you, Maria. Pass that across the table to the Commissioner. Commissioner Paul, thank you. And next up will be Connie with Community. Thank you, Maria. You can pass that across the table to the Commissioner. Commissioner Paul, thank you. And next up will be Connie with Community Connection.
Okay, I hope you can hear me. So I just want to thank you for inviting me today. And Susan, as the other commissioner, was going to be coming as well, but couldn't make it because she got tied up. And I was tied up, but I untied it and got out of there. So anyways, but I greatly appreciate coming up here and listening to you folks as to what you have to say. And I can't help but think that as a county, we're in charge of about 90 to 95 people that we have to serve, you know, and our officials, officers and everything in the county are just as well as good as us, if not better. So, but what we're doing here for the folks here we greatly appreciate what you're doing, and I think it's going to be a fantastic building that you're going to be putting together, and I just hope that things will go and financially come through. And the other issue is that we do have a sheriff and an officer here, and they're always looking at me, you know. But there's one right there. But anyway, yeah. So, but anyways, but I thank you all for coming and sharing your say, and we can hope we can do this, because I believe that this will be a good thing for the citizens of this country, or this county. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Connie Ware. Can you pass that down, please? After Connie, we have, please. Thank you, Commissioner. Connie Ware. Can you pass that down, please? Opposite order. After Connie, we have Police Chief Joel Fish.
Again, my name's Connie Ginner. I'm with Community Connection. I'm the county manager. We're a private nonprofit that assists seniors, people with disabilities, and low-income people with programs such as the food bank, public transportation, energy assistance, housing assistance, and we also do senior services. So we have the Senior Center and Meals on Wheels. Excuse me. I am so excited that this has really become a reality. We've had the opportunity to partner with Winding Waters, with the hospital, and with Wallowa Valley Center for Wellness. Being such a small community, we often see the same people. And to have one access point where we can do that warm handoff and they can receive really well-rounded services is very important. I'm going to speak on the senior side of things. Aging in place is very challenging. Some of the challenges is transportation, cognition issues, physical impairment. So getting to multiple appointments at multiple locations is very trying for them. So having a centrally located, accessible, multi-service center is very beneficial to our community as a whole, but most especially for the 28% of the people aging in place in our county. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Chief Fish, and then followed by Andy Decker. Thank you, Chief. Thank you very much. Chief Fish, and then followed by Mandy Decker. Thank you, Chief.
Been there a couple of years, but I actually started law enforcement in 1987. The old cops in the 50s, there was a big stigma about going to a health center and things like that. And in August of 2000, I had another traumatic event, and my lieutenant called me, and when he called me, I started crying. He's like, okay, we need to get another traumatic event. And when I went to counseling, John was kind of like that. When he called me, I started crying. But it really gave me good tools to deal with traumatic events. And then I passed that on to other officers, you know, throughout the years. But they really gave me good tools to deal with traumatic. I learned about the stigma, and then I learned about how really throughout the years how good counseling is. I mean, we all need it every once in a while. I learned about the stigma, and then I learned about how. And the way we are right now, the wellness center is right behind the justice center. I mean, we all need it every once in a while. And I see the folks going back there, and the way we are right now goes over their head a little bit. You know, they're going back, and I see the stigma that they back there. And they're telling about their image going to the wellness center. Back, and I see the so I think the new structure with Winding Waters and the wellness center would help that. Also, I serve on the board with the Antler Center in North Carolina, and we had the integrated approach for children where they could go and get the counseling, the domestic care, and everything after child abuse. And we had the integrated approach for children. And the integrated approach really works. Counseling, domestic care, and everything. And I think this is a fantastic idea, and I really believe the integrated approach really works. We're required right now, like I think 3 hours a year of mental health training for all. And I think for my guys, I think we've got required right now, like 3 hours a year of mental health training for all in the wellness center. And I think for my guys, I think we've got. We see firsthand the folks that are in need of care, and often the sheriff Rogers can attest to this. Folks end up in jail that don't belong in jail. They need folks that are in need of care. They're not. And often the sheriff Rogers can attest to this. Folks end up. I experienced in North Carolina too. There's jails are full of people with mental health. They're not criminals. I'm really excited about getting this off the ground, and I think that there's a help with our relations with the Wellness Center as well. And I'm really excited about getting this off the ground. If we have a classroom where we can support training, we might actually be able to track training to this side of the state, which is another thing. Actually, if we have a classroom where we can support training, we might actually be able to track training to this side of the state, which is another thing.
Thank you, Chief. Next up is Mandy, followed by Ted Thorne.
Nope.
Sorry, Mandy.
Well, I had an accent, so I didn't.
So just pass it on.
I have to follow you. It doesn't. Sorry.
Get it out there.
My name is Mandy Decker, and I'm the director of the juvenile department here in Wallowa County. It's pretty self-explanatory, but we do a lot with our youth in the community. We have the benefit here of doing a lot of prevention services, as well as dealing with youth that are on probation. So we're in the schools a lot. We're at Building Healthy Families a lot. We're actually in the Justice Center, so we are integrated with our law enforcement as well. And I will say, seeing that integration with law enforcement, we go across the state right now, and people are like, how do you get law enforcement to respond with you? And I'm like, well, they're next to my office, so I just walk over and ask. So the pieces of integration where you can see people and touch people and hear people is super beneficial. And not only that, I mean, we are in a rural community already where we help each other. We really, our hearts are in the right places already. We want these families to be able to have mental health services. And I will say the youth on our probation, so many of them are diagnosed with mental health and drug and alcohol issues. And I will say a lot of times they are frustrated because they have to go to different buildings, they have to go to different appointments, they have to see different people, and they're dealing with trauma already. There's a huge, I mean, all of you I know here know that there's a huge push in Oregon for trauma-informed care, and I believe integrated services is so wrapped into that because their trauma they can't make all of these appointments and they can't see all of these people. They get really frustrated, and it's really hard on our end when we know they need the help, but they can't seem to wrap their heads around that. So I'm super excited about this building, the fact that everyone will be in one space. I think it will definitely have a very big impact on the youth in Wallowa County. So thank you.
Mandy, thank you. Ted, where are you?
Oh, I think Ted's down
Pass
there.
that down to Ted, who then will be followed by, we have some representatives. Mandy, thank you. Ted, where are you? Okay, we pass that down to Ted, who then will be followed by, we have some representatives from Wallowa County Education Services. I don't know where you're seated, but we'll find you shortly. Followed by Dan DuBois, and then did Carl Lincoln make it? He did not, okay. And then these are the folks, our representatives that have sponsored letters that are in the legislative packets. And then what I would emphasize briefly, throw it open to the rest of you, to any of you that might want to make comment. And so if we could briefly do that after we've gone through, Dan will be our last one up.
Thank you.
And then we'll throw it open
Ted
to
Thorne,
Q&A, and then we'll have a response
recently
from our
hired as the
delegation.
Veteran
So,
Service Officer for
Ted, you're
Wallowa
up.
County. Extremely excited to be doing this. Prior to that, I was retired, so it's good to have purpose. Speaking as a veteran and for the veterans, I'm not sure if you're aware that Wallowa County has the prestigious honor of being probably in the top 10 in the state and similar numbers in the nation as a county with per capita percentages veteran participants. Veterans are migratory, especially the combat veteran population. So getting an accurate count of the percentages is extremely difficult, but Wallowa County ranges somewhere between 12 and 15% versus an average of the state is 8%, and nationwide it's around 3%. So we have a lot of veterans. Having an opportunity for veterans to go to a primary care provider or to a behavioral health specialist is very difficult for them to even get to the point where they'll admit that they have a problem. From the day that you sign and raise your right hand, you're indoctrinated from that step forward that you're okay and nothing's wrong with you. So drink water, change your socks, drive on. And that is ingrained, and they hold that forever. And so they will constantly tell you that there's nothing wrong, I'm okay. So to have the opportunity that one of them will finally come in to an office and admit that they have an issue it's extremely relevant at that time that they can find all of the care that they need to receive in one spot. Because as soon as you give them an opportunity for a doorway, they're gone and they're right back to, I don't have a problem. So the no wrong door concept that I have heard in the last couple of months is extremely important and very encouraging to the veteran populace that I get to talk to, that they're going to be able to be seen or treated for whatever it is that they might need at that time, but somebody else is going to be more concerned and ask the questions that taking care of the whole person instead of just what presents right then. So this is a great opportunity for this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Who are our Wallowa County ESD representatives? Right next door. Okay. Ted, thank you. Who are our
Good afternoon
Wallowa
again.
County,
I'm Erica Pinkerton,
ESD
Superintendent, Enterprise
representatives?
School
Right
District.
next
And
door?
today I'm
Okay.
speaking on
Thank you.
behalf of all of our superintendents, including my partner in crime over here. This is Jay Hummel. And also today representing Joseph School District, I have with me my dear friend, I just lost her name, Sherry Kilgore.
And I'm not going to help you because
I was thinking about Lance the whole time. I'm like, you don't look like Lance. So Sherry is in charge.
You normally have wine.
And
this
a dear
is true
friend.
too. So Sherry is here today in place of Lance. And I was like, Lance got some hair. But anyhow, moving on. Times have changed. And as superintendents, our vision is wide and it goes deep. We are seeing that our demographics within our school districts are increasing with free and reduced lunches. I can testify personally from my school district, we are now at 48%, and that has risen dramatically within the last 4 to 5 years. We as educators want to make sure we can reach our students no matter what state they come in when they walk through those doors. Professional development is now focusing on trauma-informed care so we can better reach our students, reach their families, and have a sound understanding of how we can have their focus be on their education and get them the services needed to make them successful. In our school systems, we do have processes in place as we see children rise to the top of the pyramid. The red zone is what we call it. Student support team meetings are held with parents, held with our juvenile system at times. We also have help coming in from our ESD, looking at safety risk assessments to help our families identify our students and recognize what we need to do. There's only so much we can do in the walls of a school. And so this effort and this endeavor that's being presented to you today is a fine example of how these systems can be effective by having our families go to one facility to receive the services needed. I can also share that with working with families, there is a stigma attached to going to the Center for Wellness because they're going into a separate building. People, they feel, their perspective is that they are being judged. This will eliminate that stigma. Finally, as educators, we always look for opportunities to grow our own programs and further enhance opportunities for our students. This facility would allow classrooms to be available possibly for career and technical education opportunities within the medical field and opening those doors for our students in the secondary level. As you know, the medical field, we have a lot of individuals retiring. There are jobs that are available, and we would love to see in our county students receive training before they cross that stage to graduate to be more competitive in the workforce. Thank you.
Anyone else from the school districts want to make comment?
We don't let Lance. We don't want to.
Thank you. Anyone else from the school districts wanting to make comment? Okay, could you pass that down the table here to Dan DeVoy? And then again, as I said, we'll open it up to brief comment to anyone.
Thank you for this opportunity today.
Did not submit a letter, but would like to make brief comment.
I
and
was
then we'll go
involved
into
somewhat
Q&A.
when I was
Dan?
county commissioner as a representative to Center for Wellness, and I stayed on that after I was out of office for the last 8 years. I've been on the QI/QA committee, and I recently got talked into being on the board. At the meeting here, at the fundraising thing, I talked about my wife who worked for mental health, took a bunch of clients up to the ski area and was killed when she hit the corner of a building, causing a traumatic brain injury and passing away. And as I was trying to figure out what to say here, I keep thinking of somehow God's put a lot of things in my life that keep pushing me up against mental health. And the one I haven't shared with a lot of people is my grandfather lived in Pendleton. I was about 12 years old. We'd see him once or twice a year. It was Father's Day. We were going to go over to visit him on Father's Day and take him out to dinner. They called about 5:30 that morning, and it took a few years before I found out really part of the reason why. He apparently had cancer, and I didn't know that at the time. What I knew is that he got out of bed, took the 30-30 in the bathroom, and killed himself on Father's Day. My father, who was your typical World War II vet, lived another 55 years, roughly, past that. He and I never had a conversation about it because he couldn't or wouldn't. So the physical led to the emotional, which got passed on to the next generation, which somewhat got passed on to me because it was my mid-20s, you know, another 10, 15 years after that event before I could really talk about it. And there are so many close ties between the physical health and mental health. One starts in one case, and the other side it starts the other way around. And it does tremendous damage, and all hands on deck, all coordination, all cooperation we can do, because we need to treat the whole person. If we treat the mental part, we treat the physical part and avoid the other, the results are not always good. So thank you all for being here, and look forward to having another great fundraiser this coming February in the same room.
So if any of you, if anyone wants to raise their hand, we'll get a mic over to you. Anyone that hasn't made a comment, like to make comments, see your hand. So if anyone wants to raise their hand, we'll get the mic over to you. Would anyone that hasn't made comment like to make comment? I see a hand over here. Someone else had their hand up, so who's next?
I just wanted to add that I've worked in social services in Wallowa County for nearly 30 years, and we have always been cutting edge in this community because we were so small. We couldn't be in silos, so we've always worked together. But I want to just add that these programs have been so incredibly successful, and that we've completely outgrown the space. And so when I hear Nick talk about the numbers of employees and how little space we've added to that, as you'll see on your tours, are absolutely on top of each other. So on top of all the integration, and one more thing I want to add, and I think that so often, I was the one in the video who lost her son. So often, I think if people can tell their doctor, I'm not doing well, and I used the example earlier that when I found out my son was suicidal, I was in for my annual physical, and my doctor said, "How are you doing?" And I immediately burst into tears. And she didn't have, this was 14 years ago, she didn't have the resources to say, well, I think you should talk to someone. I knew that I needed to because I worked in social services, but she was able to offer me a prescription so I wouldn't be having such a hard time. This was before he died. So I just think that the integration has moved so far in the last few years of saying, wow, this is really a hard time for you. This is a possibility, but maybe it would be helpful to talk to someone else. So I just think it's marvelous that we're actually moving to the physical location of being with each other.
Thank you. So I'll take 3 more, brief, and then we'll do, I think you wanted to say something, and then we'll do Q&A, and then we'll do response. Thank you. So I'll take 3 more, brief, and then we'll do, I think you wanted to say something, and then we'll do Q&A.
I'm Rebecca Furlander. I'm the district attorney.
Yeah, I know. Hang on. We've got someone
there are a
right
couple of things I wanted to mention, and one is part of my job is to work with victims who've been through one of the worst experiences of their lives. And we always, we have a great relationship with all our community partners, and we're always making referrals for these individuals to any service that can support them through this process. But we've seen time and time again that even though we make the referrals, and even if we can get, for example, an advocate from Safe Harbors helps go with them to get them connected with the Center for Wellness. A lot of times they won't do it because, as everybody talked about, the stigma that goes along with it, and somebody may see them walking into that building. I know Safe Harbors has worked to try to overcome that with some partnerships with the Center for Wellness and with Winding Waters Clinic, but anything we can do to negate that stigma to make a centralized location so that people who are in a very difficult position can get access to the services that they need, I think is fantastic. I would also mirror what Mandy said about not just juvenile probationers, but part of my job is to work with adult probationers and work with the parole and probation department. And oftentimes these individuals that they're working with have many, many things going on in their lives that make it difficult for them to overcome barriers to meet their obligations under their probation. And that includes, they may be court-ordered to do a mental health evaluation, or they may be court-ordered to do a drug and alcohol evaluation and engage in any treatment. But there's a lot of shame that goes along with doing that, and they're already feeling ashamed because they've been through the criminal justice system and they've been placed on probation, and they have to be accountable to somebody other than themselves. And so you may get them over there for the evaluation, but then for whatever reason they may not want to go back until they're forced to go. So any connections that can be made in a centralized location I think would be beneficial for that very large population in our community. And then finally, I want to mirror what Chief Fish said about anything that we can do to help connect law enforcement and mental health and physical health, both for the health and wellness of our law enforcement officers, but also to provide tools for them in working with the people they're interacting with in our community is going to be greatly beneficial, because we have a lot of people that end up in the criminal justice system that quite frankly don't belong there, but there's no other way to get them connected with the services that they need, and even when they're court-ordered, a lot of times they won't go. So I really appreciate you being here, and I encourage your consideration.
Thank you. So to the gentleman here, then we'll have time for one more hand. And I think rather than, we'll go instead after that to respond from the legislature. Thank you. So to the gentleman here, then we'll have time for one more hand. And I think rather than, we'll go instead after that to respond from the legislative
Tom
delegation.
Powers, I'm Circuit Court Judge and Presiding Court Judge for Union and Wallowa counties. And just to comment briefly on the intersection of mental health, addiction, and the criminal justice system, that's an ugly intersection, and it's a hard intersection to navigate. And the court system simply couldn't do it without the services, particularly from Center for Wellness. And I could go on and on about all the ways that's important, but there's one in particular that I think bears mention, and that's our drug treatment court program. We've got, I'm looking around the room, there's a big chunk of the room in here that I was sitting around a table with this morning doing our weekly drug treatment court staffing. And the people that we have in our program with jail or prison hanging over their heads because of addiction and often mental health issues, they're coming out of lives of pure chaos. And for them to try to manage the whole menu of services that I order them, and we hold them accountable to do, it is going to be so much easier for them to succeed if everything is integrated physically, not just sort of as a concept, but physically integrated, so that they can make appointments. We have people who are getting counseling. We have people who are doing courses and classes. They're on medically assisted treatment. And integrating all of that in one facility is going to be critical. And Representative Barreto was kind enough to pay a visit to the drug treatment court session over in Union County. And we do the same thing over here in Wallowa County every week. And the providers here and the services that they serve for the people that are in the program, it's absolutely critical. I can write all the sentence orders that you want and just toss them out the door unless there's physically a place for people to go and providers there to work with them, and that's what these folks do. And putting it in one facility is going to make a world of difference to making all that succeed.
Thank you, Judge. Is there a last comment before you turn over to legislators? Thank you, Judge. Is there a last comment before we turn over to legislators?
No, and actually the representative and his wife both came. They spent the whole session. Maybe we'll have like a legislative treatment for a building too. We invite you to come anytime soon. Yeah. We invite you to come anytime. They were visiting with us in Union County to get back off the ground yesterday.
Yeah, Adrian Hargis with Community Bank. Everybody's talked about a lot of the integration, the benefits of integration. I want to talk briefly just on the organization.
Final comment.
a successful organization takes people, investment in people, and also in infrastructure. And this organization, these two respective organizations, obviously invested in their people with Shantae and Nick and their folks and so forth. So the community bank, we support this investment in the people that they've made, but also you need the infrastructure to support the people to be successful for the long term. So just a great opportunity for providing for the health care of this community for the long term. Thank you.
So Senator Hansel and your colleagues, as we return this to you for comment, what we hope to demonstrate to you was that our community is in with the fundraising event we held last February, the next one to come, and all of these folks at the table, both represented in letters and interest, we hope that you'll come away with that message of hope and need, and now return this to you and your colleagues for comment. Yes, who has the mic, please? We definitely want this recorded. That dessert looks great. What is it? It's strawberry shortcake. Oh my goodness. Did the mic find its way up?
I'll keep it out of the strawberry shortcake.
Oh, there we are. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank all of you for coming today and sharing. And Greg and I have been working on this particular project for several years now. And it's to see what's accomplished and what's going along is fantastic. And as we began to develop this, I said there is a colleague of mine that if it's possible, I would love for her to be able to see and to hear and to understand what it is we're trying to do. Because I believe that she's going to be very helpful and instrumental from her position and her background to make this happen. I want it to be bipartisan from the beginning. I want to have support throughout the legislative body and both houses, bicameral. And if you look, and I want to talk a little bit just real quickly, we get views of what's happened politically on the nightly news, and for most of us, it's not very good. And the bickering and the interaction. And if you were to look at Senator Elizabeth Steiner Hayward and I, some would probably say you're kind of an odd couple. She's a graduate of the University of Chicago. She's a graduate of the University of Massachusetts Medical School. She did her internship or her residency at OHSU. I, on the other hand, am a duck, an Oregon duck. I'm an Oregon duck. She is so much more intelligent and smart than I am that it's not even comparable. She lives in Portland. I live in Athena. She's a Democrat. I'm a Republican. She's Jewish. I'm a Baptist. She's a vegetarian. I'm a carnivore. We have various things that would not normally cause people to think, well, you can work together. And yet I count her as a very dear friend. And when she happened to mention to me one day in passing that she'd never been to the Pendleton Roundup, I said, well, would you come if you were invited? She said, sure. And where would I stay? I said, you would stay in our house. And so last night I met her at D&B Supply in Pendleton, Oregon. And I bought her a cowboy hat. And tomorrow is tough enough to wear pink. So I bought her a pink shirt, and then she went shopping on her own and bought a whole bunch more stuff. And I learned what bling was. I had no idea what bling was, so you ladies know what bling is. And she'll be staying with us. I also had the opportunity, when people heard that she was coming, I could have scheduled 50 other things on this day, because the roundup started today. I said, no, I want her to come to Wallowa County. I want her to see what the good people here are doing, what their vision is, where we can help and where we can be involved. And so other than Elgin on the way over, this is where we're spending today. But we've worked together, and I think that's what we should do as legislators, already in the legislature. We talked about bills on the way over that we could co-sponsor. We've already decided on one that we're going to do. And for us to be able to hear you and to be here, and I, for one, am encouraged and challenged, and I'm going to go back, and we're going to make this happen. And it's a real honor for me to be here, and I want to thank you for all you do. And I want to also thank my colleague and friend, Elizabeth, for coming, and thank you so much. And here she is.
Here's to you, Bill. Well, that's about the nicest introduction I've ever had. And I want to echo Bill's thanks to all of you for the time and energy you've invested in this. I sat here scribbling a gazillion notes as you were all talking. I promise I won't read all of them. But let me start by saying this. An opportunity to come to Wallowa County always ranks high on my list of things to do. I've had the privilege of knowing Liz Powers since she moved to Portland. She moved to Oregon when she came for her residency at OHSU, and I was on faculty there. And watching the work that she and Nick have done out here with amazing community partners to really transform the culture of well-being in this county is pretty remarkable. And it's the kind of thing that I certainly am inspired to continue to help make happen. I will say a couple of quick things. In terms of the issues around not getting enough healthcare providers out here and the prospect of career and technical education classrooms in this new facility, I've spent a lot of time, long before I was in the legislature. I was president of the Oregon Academy of Family Physicians. Actually, I was one of Liz's predecessors in that position, and worked very hard to get the Rural Scholars Program in place. Wes Baker just came out to join you guys, is a graduate of that program that I helped get through the legislature in 2011 before I was even a senator. So it's really fun to see the fruit of those labors serving you all out here in Wallowa County. But we've done a lot more with that. Last year, Representative Nathanson from Eugene and I passed a bill that not only upped the ante on all of our provider incentive programs, it also set up a brand new grant program for training programs for healthcare professionals. And that's in the process of getting up and running. It's going to be run through OHSU, and it's going to absolutely require community partnership, and you all are going to lead the way, I can just tell. So I look forward to helping you out with that and making sure you make the connections, because that's exactly what we want to do. We want to train people where they live so that they can provide the services that their community needs and live there while they're doing it and live there once they're trained and provide those services. And that's the model that I think makes a big difference. So I'm excited to partner with you on that part of this adventure as well. I actually worked with Steve Cleaver when he was at OHSU a lot too. So I love all these connections. We wrote grants together then too. And you know, several of you have been very open about your own personal struggles with mental health issues. I am known in the legislature for talking very openly about my lifelong history of depression and how fortunate I am to have had excellent health care available to me throughout my life and career. And I think I'm a pretty good example of how if you get the right health care, and that's whole body, whole person care, including mental health, that you can be a pretty productive citizen. I've been a busy lady. And it's because my disease is managed. And depression and anxiety and bipolar disorder and schizophrenia and all those kinds of things are diseases just like the MS that I also live with, right? Those are just diseases. They're like high blood pressure or diabetes of the brain. And we need to treat them like that. And I talk about it publicly because a lot of people can't, right? I'm in a position of safety. Yes, my voters could choose not to reelect me, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm running against myself this year, so that's going to be... The Republicans and the Independents all cross-nominated me. It was lovely. Guess I'm doing something right. But, you know, it's really important for those of us in positions of safety to speak out about our personal experience and how important it is to stop doing what I call chopping people off at the neck, which is slightly course, but it's true. You know, Liz was talking about how she was called over by the dentist to go look at this person's mouth and realize that this was not a dental issue, but a medical issue. We can't do that when people don't have access to dental care in a convenient way. It is impossible to get someone to engage in their own well-being, to go with you and learn how to shop if they're depressed, right? It's impossible. If you are depressed, it's impossible to convince yourself to take care of yourself in the ways that you need to keep your blood pressure or your blood sugar under control, right? And if you have poor oral health, it's certainly impossible to keep your blood sugar under control. So these are the kinds of things we think about a lot. I would say this. I am a budget geek. I do the vast majority of my work on committees in the legislature as budget. I co-chair the budget committee that deals with all the health and human services stuff. I sit on the public safety budget committee, and I sit on the full ways and means committee. Bill and I sit next to each other and pass each other notes when people are being silly. But not us, no, we're never silly. And I would much rather spend money upstream on your kids, and I hope there's going to be a facility for PCIT in this because we're trying to get more funding for that. And I hope you guys have set that up as part of this. But I would rather that we spent the money, your tax dollars and mine, upstream to help kids and families have healthy, productive lives than have them, with all due respect, gentlemen, end up in your bailiwick. I think you'd prefer it too. You're all up for that.
Senator number one.
Yay.
The thing I want to say, Senator number one, not out of just me. There's 35 of my brothers out there in the state that feel the same way. The thing I wanted to say, our primary job, hear this house, or just me, there's 35 sick people don't belong out there.
Right, exactly.
And you can't imagine our primary job, how much that pisses us off. Sick people don't belong.
Exactly. And you are not the first sheriff I've heard that from. My conversations with Sheriff Reese and Sheriff Garrett and Sheriff Myers from Marion County, they're all exactly the same. I'd love that. But, you know, it's exactly that. You deserve to have your tax dollars going to things that actually make a difference. And putting sick people in jail instead of helping them be healthy in the first place is not a good use of your and my tax dollars, right? So, I have a rule. I never make a promise I don't know I can keep, because you got to be able to count on my word. I would say that I am pretty optimistic, but I'm not going to promise you, right? Because as I said, I'm not the queen of the world. I'm not the queen of capital construction, and I don't get to make these decisions all by myself. If I did, it would be a lock, because this is a very, very compelling case statement. Incredibly compelling, one of the best I've ever heard. So I think you have an inside track. I think the way you tell your story is incredibly compelling. You know, having Mike there to help coach you through all of this and coach you through those of you who are going to come to Salem and testify in front of Capitol Construction and meet with legislators. But I got funding like this for the Virginia Garcia Clinic in Beaverton. I helped get the funding for Elgin. Obviously, these two gentlemen were critical to that, but I helped because I knew how important it was to them. And I can promise you, I will work my hardest to get you the funding for this.
Well, just so you know, I'm not really a politician. I'm a business owner. So this will be very short.
Oh, give me a break.
You know, the Elgin Clinic that we worked on, similar to the same project, that was it was a great experience, but it was also a very fun and encouraging project because of community. And the community came together, spearheaded by Jared and a group there. They worked together. They worked hard. They committed themselves to the project, and you know, the impressive thing about that was the people that were working in the community, the doctors, the physician's assistant, the dentist, they were all from the area. They all came back. They went off to school and they came back, and now Nick is coming back too. And so that was just impressive to me, you know, to have these kids go off, and they could have gone anywhere, but they wanted to come back to the community. When I first came to Enterprise, I went to the school, and as I went into the front of the high school there, I started looking at all the teachers on the wall there. All but one of them graduated from Enterprise High School. It was impressive. When I was running for office, Craig Norton down in Lostine, his kid was in an accident, had some head trauma. Their restaurant there burned down, and they had a pie auction on a Sunday afternoon, and I came up for that, raised $70,000 on a Sunday afternoon. I mean, that's community. And when you want a project to be completed, and you have the community that you have here, you have the community in Elgin that you have the community that we have over here in Eastern Oregon, then things get done because people work together. You know, and I am a businessman, and we started out in one building. We're now in 8 buildings. I know what it's like to work in different locations, and it's not efficient, you know, but you make it work as long as you can until you can afford to bring it together. And so now it's time to bring it together. So let's do this.
So we promised we'd be good stewards of your time. We have 5 minutes left. I think we could take just a couple of questions, and then I would encourage. So we promised we'd be good stewards of your time. We have 5 minutes left. I think we could take just a couple of questions, and then I would encourage those of you that might want to stick around for a couple of minutes. We do have a tour that will be taking them on, but does anyone have a question that they would like to ask of our legislative delegation?
For those of you that don't know,
otherwise we'll conclude early, and you all can go. And
the basic process will be is that we'll work to we'll submit a request to capital construction. Money, bond money, and lottery money, and others go into are assigned to that particular committee. Were you on this?
I was on it in 2018.
Yeah, we don't know what the committee assignments are going to be, but Elizabeth was one of the leaders that was asked to be on that committee. And then there'll be hearings. We'll ask for folks to come down to testify on that. I'll give you an example of what happened in the short session. We're renovating a theater in my hometown of Athena called the Gem Theater. I didn't think there would be money possible in the short session last February. Found out that there was, so I called the music teacher who's the head person on the project. I said, I need you to come down. We'll put in an application. So we worked on that first, and I said, you're going to travel over 500 miles, 272 miles each way for 2 minutes. I can't guarantee that you will get anything as a result of doing that, but I can guarantee you won't get anything if you don't come. Well, you guys are as far away in Oregon as you can get to Salem, pretty much. But when the time comes, we're going to need folks to come down. We'll sit with you and to testify as to what this project is. So we'll look. I'm thinking that just sitting here, it dawned on me too that with the passage, was it Measure 97, whatever it was in the last election for veteran services, the fact that the veterans are going to be a part of this, I don't know for sure, but I'll have my staff, we'll start to look at it. There may be some money there that we can also put into it from those veteran services when Mr. Thorne was.
Years when a state senator says this is a great Bay state, that means a lot. And, you know, again, what happens here tonight and how we go about doing that and the message we take to Salem is we'll be in Salem on March the 4th.
March 4th.
To share the results of tonight are very, very helpful. So we're really proud of the fact that
We had the state senators here on a visit, that they're making this a priority. These requests are made through the sale of lottery bonds. They're highly, highly competitive, but we've waited a couple of years to be very strategic. We think this integrated services model is a very good model. I'll come back a little bit later, let you make some comments. I want to let you also know, ladies and gentlemen, this is meant to be a working event for us, so your dinner's going to come out. You're going to be eating and enjoying your meal while we're doing our work. So we'll encourage the kitchen staff to go ahead and bring the dinner out while we continue to do our work as well.
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that tonight marks the second year of partnerships to improve the health and well-being of Wallowa County through collaborative care. With your support this evening, you will be among those who have already helped raise funds for this beautiful new building. And I want all of you to join me as I go to the legislation on March 4th to share with them the results of tonight, as Mike said. It's really important to the legislators as well as future foundations where we're going to be applying for grants that we demonstrate that there's community support behind this building. And so we demonstrate that by telling them about the events that we have and how much we were able to raise. So your support goes a long way, not just towards the bricks and mortar, but towards Wallowa County as a whole. If you haven't already done so, you can check out the renderings throughout the lodge. There's one back here, and it sort of shows some of the interior spaces and as well as the landscaping that's going to go around the building. In the future, we are working with, it's a newly formed LLC called We Can that's building interior inside baseball / soccer / all different kinds of different sports by the Enterprise baseball fields where the old bathrooms are now. And so when that happens, we would like to link together the walking path that the hospital has right now, along with our path around our property, and then maybe go through the baseball area as well. So we're looking at, I'm hoping, about 1.5 miles of walking path as well. So please check out the renderings. I think you'll find them really interesting and educational. And if you have any questions on them, oh, I see Vanna is parading them around. Very good. Okay. So this capital campaign has 3 really vital opportunities. One is education and marketing. We are taking this opportunity to tell our story for the very first time. We became a nonprofit in 1995, and since 1995, last year was the first time that we have ever fundraised, which is kind of unheard of for a nonprofit. We have survived almost exclusively on the grants that we have written. So it's a kind of a step off the ledge, it feels like, for us to be able to put on an event like this and ask for your support. The second is building capital and creating sustainability. By creating an LLC to build this facility, we substantially lessen the financial risk by having a broader group of long-term tenants partner with us, which makes it a true building for the community. And the third is creating capacity. By combining health and wellness services in one integrated building, talking about mental health, addictions, and developmental disabilities will become as common, hopefully, as talking about, your cold symptoms. I mean, my dream is that you walk into this building, nobody knows why you're coming in, right? Because hopefully we're going to have veteran services, we're going to have primary care, we're going to have dental, we're going to have a drop-off child care situation where if you have multiple appointments and you don't have childcare, we'll take care of your kids for the time that you're at the building. And so the hope is that you walk in and you're greeted by some people that make you feel warm and comfortable, and you sit down and you sit next to a person and you strike up that conversation, how's it going? And you're like, well, I'm not so good. I'm here because I have a really bad cold that I haven't been able to get rid of for 2 weeks. And the other person says, that's too bad. And they look at you and say, well, why are you here? And you say, well, I'm kind of suffering a little bit of depression this week. And I'm just looking to get better, And that it's really common. Because everyone in this room, I'm sure, at one time or another, has experienced a time in their life that they've needed a little extra support, and that's why we're here. So now that you've got kind of the skinny on this whole campaign, co-hosting with me tonight is Mike Wilson. He is from Westby Associates. We found him, we found them at the most odd place. It was at a conference, and our COO walked up to this table and said, "You seem sort of out of place. What do you do?" And she says, "Well, we kind of are out of place, but we thought we'd try this. We're a fundraising consulting company, and we help people see their visions and help them achieve that." And we have become really good partners and really good friends. Mike usually comes over and hangs out with our crazy kids and our 2 dogs, and when he's here. So it's been a fun relationship.
Thank you. The feeling's mutual. Vanna, how you doing there? So, how many of you are still waiting on dinner? Okay, so we still have a number of tables.
More.
All right. So, as far as the capital campaign, there's really 3 legs on the stool. There's foundations, there's public funding, which can be city, county, or state. And in most cases, it's the state. And then there's the community. And the community plays a very, very significant part. So last year, as you said, we did some fundraising and really got the attention of a number of people. And we said, we think that this event has some opportunity as far as being an annual event. And even when we get beyond the capital campaign, it will still be an event where hopefully you'll all come here to this place and celebrate what's happened not only last year, but what's about to happen tonight. Tonight we have, as you may remember, those who were here last year, we have a couple of really solid, interesting, heartfelt testimonials. And they're people that are part of your community. And I hope you'll embrace them as much as I have over the last couple of days, getting to know them and their family. And moving this forward, because it's the testimonials that motivate you to want to do your giving, and through that giving, as that leg on the stool, it's really what gets the attention of the foundations and then some of the public funding. So should we get started on our...
Yeah, let's get started.
So I think I'd like to get started with our first testimonial. Tim? And he's going to use your microphone.
Oh,
if that's
great.
Okay?
Sure.
Tim, why don't you take a microphone here? Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tim Richardson, and you've taken your hat off. I've noticed you're wearing BLH construction hat and sweatshirt. Why is that significant to you, Tim?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Mike.
All right, pick it up and talk out so everyone can hear you.
Only thing that can come to my mind is like second chances. BLH has a big part of where I'm at today, along with the Center for Wellness.
Now you have some special guests here from BLH. Would you introduce them to us? Stand up and call them out for us.
Well, we got Dean Himes there. He's our owner. And Joyce Himes, that's his wife. And my knight in shining armor over there, Jeff Stadel. And not last but least, my girlfriend, Susie Ellis.
Now, Tim, I'm going to embarrass you a little bit because last night we went through a bit of a discussion. And in the middle of all that, you had to take a phone call. And you came back in, and I said, well, the phone call was from Pumpkin Seed, and I thought it was your girlfriend. And it turns out Pumpkin Seed is your daughter, Ashley.
Yes, sir.
And that young girl, that young woman, that daughter, if you will, because I have a daughter too named Ashley, she's my one and only. We share that. But she's a really big, important part of your life.
Absolutely.
So we're going to come back to that in a little bit, but we were talking a little bit about you're wearing the colors and the insignia of a company that has really helped you in your life's journey.
Absolutely. Yes.
Tell us about that. Tell us about your life's journey. I mean, from what you told me last night, you've been an addict since age
8 years old.
Share that story.
Well, I don't know where to start on that. Well, I can't even possibly imagine this, but when I was 8 years old, I had a stepfather who was real abusive, and thought it was really cool to introduce an 8-year-old kid to marijuana, and that's how my life started. So from the time I was 8 years old till just a couple years ago, I've been struggling with addiction problems. So.
And you told me last night, and there are things that we won't share tonight, but you told me last night that you feel very lucky to even be here.
Yeah, there's a gentleman in this room that gave me a second chance too. He's sitting over in that corner, Judge Powers, because I almost went to prison for 45 months, and luckily, through the grace of God, and that's the only thing I can say is God. Anyway, that's kind of where things have taken a turn. Center for Wellness was there for me as soon as I got out of jail. I lost everything, and I don't know. It just beat me up really bad. It kind of humbled me a real.
So let's talk about. I mean, you've been, as we talked about last night and smiled, kind of a frequent flyer of all the programs at Wallowa Valley Center for Wellness.
Every one of them.
What programs?
All of them.
We'll share with our audience.
Well, I got Lynn McBurney over here for the support of employment. He went to bat for me too. I kind of adventured off to Safeway for a couple years, and he was a big part of that. Danielle was a big part of that, helping me get the application filled out online. They've helped me with housing because of my my record, which is all drug charges. It's kind of hard to get housing when you anyway. And all the I had Maggie. She was my A&D counselor. Dodie was my therapist. Erica was my counselor. They've given me rides to dentist appointments. They've helped me with place to stay. I mean, they even set me up at the drop-in center when I didn't have nowhere to go. And yeah, they've just been a huge part. All my classes, my DBT classes, everything all fell into place, and it was just amazing.
So when we think about Center for Wellness, we might think of it more in terms of mental health, but it's so much more.
Yeah, so I had mental health issues too. I mean, if you're an addict for 40 years, you kind of develop some issues, and coping strategies was my hardest. My life was kind of enmeshed in drug and alcohol. So
How long have you been clean and sober?
14 months.
14 months, and you're counting by the day.
Yeah.
And you're a family man. That little girl, Ashley, and I know what little girls mean to dads.
My whole world.
Tell me about that.
Well, the one thing I can say is from the first time I held her, I never wanted to be an addict. I just wanted her to be proud of me. You know, I want to be able to go to her school functions and not have everybody say, "Oh, that's her dad. He's a drug addict." I don't want that. You know, I don't. There's a lot of things that I don't know. I have a purpose now, so, and she's that purpose.
So at this point in your life, and you've got this wonderful company that's sponsoring you. It's given you an opportunity, and others.
Yes.
And your supervisor is walking the same walk with you, right? And that's Jeff.
Yeah.
So and you're in this place now, Tim, that things are starting to turn around for you. What is your wish? What do you hope for?
Well, I wish that, you know, my biggest wish is for my mom and my daughter to be proud of me, because I kind of dropped out of school. I did join the Army. I was in there for 3 years.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah. I didn't see combat, but that was one of the other proudest times of my life. I did have some clean time there. Out of the 40 years, I don't know. It's like I said, I had a lot of issues I had to deal with. It was kind of rough.
Listen, you're here tonight. Is there anything you'd like to say about Wallowa Valley Center for Wellness? And before we've got a little bit of a surprise here we're going to get to in a second. Anything else you'd like to say?
Thank you very much. You guys saved my life.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Richardson. So, Tim, let's stand up for a minute. So, ladies and gentlemen, what's really interesting, this table and these chairs, Tim is involved in making things like that with the company that has served him well and hires him. And so we thought we'd auction this off tonight, right? And I tell you, I live in Vancouver in the Portland market. furniture like this would bring a couple $1,000s. And I understand from what I've seen, the value of these three pieces is $900. Now the goal tonight is for us to auction that off, and this is not in your program. But we want to start with this item, but there's one more piece I'd like to share with you. And here's what I'd like to do, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to ask you to listen up and help me out here. So Tim, what I'd like to do the first $250, okay, towards buying this, right? But I'm looking for the audience to join at least 4 other people at $250 to join me. And when you deliver it, you're going to deliver it to your house, okay? And you and Ashley, you're going to remember this night. You're going to remember this night. You're going to remember sitting in that chair sharing this story with this community. And I'm going to be the first bid in, and I need to see at least 4 other bid cards, and we'll keep going. Number 206 is in for $250. Number 208 is in at $250. Number 252 is in at $250. Number 281 is in at $250. Anybody else? Number 215 is in at $250. Number 225, thank you, Derek, is in at $250. How much is that we've raised, Tammy? We've raised about $1,500, $1,700. We want you to enjoy this. This is your community saying thank you to you, all right?
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, is that it? You can sit down. Oh, thank you.
So, Tim, you when you find the time, you can deliver that home, and you'll remember tonight with your Ashley. Yes. Come on up. All right, okay. Wow. So, really? All right. So Tammy, what did we just raise? 12. No, we raised more than that. Does that include my bid? There was at least 6 numbers that went up. Can I all see your numbers again? Make sure that we can, because I counted 6. 281, 208, 206, 215, 225. There's 5. 252. And mine. Okay. All right. So I think we had about $1,500 there. And now you're saying that Bronson Log Homes is going to donate another set that I can auction off right now, again, that goes towards tonight's total. So, all 3 pieces. All right? Who will start me out at $500? It's not in your program, ladies and gentlemen. Who will start me out at $500 on these 3 pieces? Okay? 221. Thank you, Dan. Do I hear 600? 600 on these 3 pieces. 214 is in at 600. Dan, you in at 7? I've got 600. Looking for 700. 268's in at 700. Looking for 800. 208 is in at 800. Do I hear $900? What a great way to start the evening and something that's not even in your catalog. Looking for $900. Looking for $900. Going once. Going twice.
Okay, 208.
Chris, thank you.
Thank
208.
you, Chris.
Shantae, we're off to a roaring start. All right.
Crazy.
Okay. So that's we're up to $2,300.
That was way off script.
And Tim, thank you.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
And thank you, BLH, for your help here.
Thank you,
in doing
Tim,
that.
for sharing your story. We sure appreciate it.
And thank you, the Hines family. So, all right, here we go.
All right. So, we are going to start with Gay's Hungarian Woods dinner this evening. Enjoy a special Valley's Alpine Restaurant dinner of paprika chicken at Gay Benke's Cozy Log Cabin in Lostine Canyon for you and 7 of your friends, either the first or second weekend in June. And it is a $600 value donated by Gay Benke, Valley's Alpine Restaurant.
Now, what I would say, last year, I think all we auctioned off were dinners, right?
Yeah.
And most
All
of these
we auctioned off were dinners last night.
and
last year.
Last night, I
Last
missed
night,
it.
I know. Boy, I'm busy. Woo.
Good Lord. And most of these dinners, ladies and gentlemen, went for around $1,000, and most of them we sold more than once. So calling this a $600 dinner gay, I think is pretty reasonable, right? She's very reasonable. All right. So.
And for those of you who have not been to Gay Banky's cabin, it is spectacular. And she built the entire cabin all on her own, all by herself. It's quite an impressive feat. It's beautiful.
All right, so who wants to start us out at $400 on this dinner? $400, number 214. $500, looking for $500? Oh my goodness, it's worth every bit of $1,000, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Valley's.
Oh, all right, 290 is in at $500. All right, $600, where I should have started from. I'm looking for $600.
We've got one, 250,
250, thank you. Looking for $700. Looking for $700. Looking for $700. Going once. $700, number 290. Was that a bid, sir? All right.
All right.
Looking for $800. Looking for $800. Looking for $800. You have the bid number 290 at $700. $700. Going once. Going twice. You own it. Number 290.
All right. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Mike. I'm so sorry.
Can we bring in this piece of furniture from? Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what, though? Before we do that, I forgot something.
Oh, no.
I know. I forgot the blinky rings.
Yes, that's the one we want, Jay-Z. Yeah.
Mike, I forgot the blinky rings.
Well, I forgot them too. What do you want to do with them?
I think we should give them out.
Okay. Well, how does that work?
Well, when you call the bid number, a staff member will put a blinky ring on you to wear so that we can light up the sky tonight with hearts.
If you call the bid number, or you win the bid?
If you win the bid.
You win the bid, you get a
win the
ring.
bid.
Those
Yeah.
are expensive rings.
So last year, nearly every single person had a blinky ring on. Tosca's demonstrating. It's very fun. Dan brought his from last year. Thank you, Dan. Now you get two. Hint, hint.
All right, so.
No pressure.
So we owe a couple of rings to a few people, right?
We do. Chris Borgedy needs one. Davey needs one.
Derek, can I ask you to help with walking around? Where are you at, Derek?
Where? Derek, right
Derek,
here.
there you are. Sorry, I confused you with Derek. Derek, I'm going to ask you to help. I want to walk this around a little bit.
Good luck with that one.
Well, is it?
So let's talk about this for a second.
All right.
Okay. Do you want to say anything more about the blinky rings?
No.
Okay.
I mean, as long as people understand they get a blinky ring
When they win the bid.
when they win the bid.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So this piece of furniture is from the planer mill that used to be in Joseph. So it's 100-year-old wood that Jay-Z put together for us. So just imagine you could own a piece of Wallowa County's logging history in your home. It's a one-of-a-kind custom side table by Jay-Z Lumber. It's made from 100-year-old salvaged wood from the Eastern Oregon Lumber Company planer mill. The value is $500. Donated by Jim and Julie Zacharias.
So a real piece of history, over 100 years old. All right, who will start me at $400 on this? Significant value here. Significant history.
All right.
All right.
256.
256 is in at $400.
Thank you.
I'm looking for $500, number
268.
268.
500.
Or you can set it down now. You're turning all green. Are you back in? At 600? Number 256, $600. Russell?
268.
At 700?
You can do it.
800? 800 is what we're looking for. We're at $700 on the table. And a blinky ring. $700 on this one-of-a-kind, 100-year-old local piece of history. You're in at $800, number 256. Russell, you got to be $900 if you want this. And it's a good thing your wife's not here. Okay.
All right.
You own it right now at $800. Anyone else around the room at $800 going once? You own it. Congratulations.
All right. Thank you so much. Awesome.
Now, Lem is advised that if on any of these items tonight, if you don't want to take them home, he will deliver them. Okay? So any of you that win an item tonight that can't take it home, we'll make arrangements for delivery to your home. So, next item up.
Yeah, next item is our first dinner of the evening, or second dinner of the evening, and that is pairings at Perry's. Look out over Wallowa Lake as you and 7 of your friends enjoy a 5-course Italian dinner with wine pairings hosted by Diet and Lou Perry. A $600 value donated by Diet and Lou. So if any of you know where they live, they are one of the highest houses on the west cove of the Moraine, overlooking Wallowa Lake, and their house is spectacular. And if you don't know Diet, she is a phenomenal cook. So I would highly recommend this dinner. Mike?
Where do you want to start it at?
I'd start it at 600.
All right.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be quite a feast.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So we're starting this dinner at $600. $600. Number 230, will you go 700? 700, number 250. 230, you back in?
243.
243. Need you to move, sir. 243, okay. Okay, we're in at 700, correct? Okay. Looking at 800. Looking at 800. Looking for 800. Number 250 is in at 800.
Yep.
250's in at 800. 250's in at 800. Looking for 900. Looking for 900 on the dinner. Looking for 900 going once. Going twice. You bought it. You own it.
Oh, 243? Oh!
243.
900.
900. Stephen, you wanted it 1,000?
Bid now, Stephen. Bid now.
Bid now, Stephen. Are you in at 1,000? They won't bid again.
It'll be worth every penny, I guarantee it.
Oh, he's in at 1,000. All right, Derek, are you in at 1,100? I know he won't bid again.
Yeah.
Going once. Derek? Going twice. You gonna let him go home and explain that to his wife? Yep, they're shaking their head. Thank you very much.
All
You
right.
own it at
Thank you, Stephen.
$1,000.
Woo. Very good. All right, Mike, are we ready for number 4? Number 5. Yes, I can't read. Better tune up my readers here.
Doggone good time.
Doggone good time. You
So tell me
and
about
9 of your friends will learn the process of making kimchi.
How many of you had kimchi?
Kimchi
Well-
lovers. You know that
Okay.
you can order a kimchi pizza
That's
off
kimchi,
the menu at the dog spot? Shh, I didn't tell you. But it's really good.
Huh.
So at the end of the night, each person gets his or her own jar of kimchi to take home. There we go.
Wow.
Thank you, DV, for walking that around.
Okay.
So this is a $750 value donated by the dog spot.
Learn the ins and outs of making kimchi. Cooking class available prior to May 2019. And winner receives this lovely jar. Traditional Korean style with fermented vegetables. And what'd you say the value is?
$750.
All right. Who will start me at $500 on a kimchi experience? $400. Where do you want to start on a kimchi experience? Doggone good time. Come on.
257.
Where do you want to start? What's your bid? $500. Thank you,
All
Catherine.
right, 500.
500 on the kimchi experience. I'm looking for 600.
There's got to be more kimchi
Are you like me?
lovers
You've never
in here.
tasted kimchi and you're wondering what you're buying? No. You get to take kimchi home with you. All right. Okay. Catherine has a bid at $500. Anyone else?
Not a fan.
Around the
I
room.
know. It's a
Around the
special
room,
slice, you know. It's
At
a special
$500,
taste.
I'm going to sell it. Doggone good time goes to Catherine. Happy birthday.
All right. Happy birthday, Catherine. Thank you.
Lem, walk around TV.
What number are we on?
We are on number 6.
Thank
you.
you. All right.
Thank you.
And it's called
Teals, Deals, Dinner, and Drinks. Davy.
Where's Davy?
She's hiding now.
Davy,
This
come.
is a special custom Pamper Fest for just you and 9 of your girlfriends. Enjoy 25% off the entire store and a $25 gift card and much, much more. So if I know Davy, there's going to be wine pairings, there's going to be beer, there's going to be food, there's going to be whatever else you want to make it for you and 9 of your girlfriends. It sounds really fun, Davy.
Well, now that you took all her talking points
Sorry.
away from her,
Sorry.
is there anything else left to talk about?
So excited.
The experience can actually be customized, so you can choose your own theme. We chose 3 themes that we thought would be fun. So we've done this a few times in a little bit different setting. This is the first time I've done it for a group like this, but it's always very fun, and we hope that someone wants to try and enjoy it.
All right.
So what's the value, Davy?
$1,000.
So there's at least how many people? 8 total. So there's 200.
Nine total.
All right. So there's $275 in gift cards already, plus a $15. So I mean, there's at least, before you've even gone to the party and had anything, there's $400 value. So I think we ought to start this at a minimum of $600.
Yeah,
Right?
sounds
it's for
good.
9 people. So who's in? You're buying it, number 252? 252 at 600. Are you in at 700, Tina? Tina's in at 700.
All right.
Tina's in at 700. Are you in at 800? We have a bidding war. Tina, are you interested at 900? You have it at 800. Right now, Nancy, you have it at 800, okay? Anyone else? Anyone else? Around the room at 800. So if I sold a second one at 800, would you be interested? Okay, we just sold 2 of these, ladies and gentlemen.
Woohoo! Thank you, Tina and Nancy. All right.
Thank you, Tina and
That's
Nancy.
great.
And Davy, thank you, because that's a lot of gift cards that you just, and a good time.
The
So-
girls need blinky rings
Wow.
now. For sure.
All right.
Thank you so much. That's fantastic. You're going to have a really fun time. All right.
Now, Shantae, this next one says men only, but gals can bid too,
Oh,
right?
for sure.
All right.
For sure. All right. So we've got Catch of the Day, which is number 7. It's a really unique package for your favorite angler. Guided fishing on Malawa Lake. It includes a fly rod and reel with a casting lesson, box of flies, whiskey, wine, 4-wheel alignment of your 4-wheel drive vehicle, and a custom-made fire poker.
Well, don't forget
Okay,
don't
I'm
forget
gonna
the
walk
4-wheel.
away from that one.
The 4-wheel alignment also donated by Les Schwab.
That's right. So all donated by 6 Ranch Outfitters, Les Schwab, Chuck Frazier, Joseph Fly Shop, and Lem McBurney. It's a $1,000 value.
Oh, no, it's at least 1,000. I'd
It's
say
at least 1,000.
1,000 to 1,300.
Yeah.
So, look, there's a lot going on this, and it's, I mean, that's a fire poker, right? Look at that. My goodness. And a great bottle of, and it's a malted, single malt bottle of scotch. I noticed the box, and I noticed the box is empty. All right.
It's a little light.
Who will start this out at $700? $700
$700.
for $1,300 worth of stuff.
There's got to be some anglers in here.
Now look what the ladies did, guys. They
Come
bought
on.
it twice. Come on.
I don't think we can bid on it.
All right, $600? There's a lot here, guys. $600 for all this? All right, where do you want to start? All right, there we are. 212 is in at $600. And what a deal he's got. Thanks for poking my... Can we maybe... Lem? Not right. We're at $600. $700, Chris. Yeah, Chris?
Question.
Chris has a question. Where's the fishing?
It's in the lake, but I guarantee we can make it different. We can teach you how.
The question is the fishing trip in the lake?
The fishing trip currently is in the lake, but if someone wants to do this, I will take someone in a drift boat down the river, and we'll do the lake and the river too.
Okay, so all right. So we just upped the ante a little bit, so now it's a day in a drift boat. The gentleman here has the bid at $600. There's a lot going on here in this package. Do I have a bid at $700? $700 on this package? Well, I mean, that's going to be the deal tonight if we let it go. Going once? 252 is in at 700. Thank you, Carl. Sir, are you back in at 8? Yes? Back in at $800. Thank you, sir. $800. We're looking for 9. Carl's in at 252. 239 at 1,000, sir. Okay, in at 1,000 here. In at 1,000. Thank you. Looking for 1,100. Anybody? Looking for 1,100. Anyone?
Yeah.
Around the room. Going once. Going twice. 252 is at 1,100.
Here we go.
You almost were going fishing.
That was a great look, Carl.
Wow. Man.
I tell you what.
No friends at an auction, I
Mike,
mean to tell you. Yes.
I'll throw in.
You're going to make lunch?
I'm going to make lunch.
Okay, well.
I'll make lunch.
Well, all right, so what's lunch include?
I don't know. What do you want it to include?
Well, I'm not bidding on it. Okay, so we're in at $1,100 plus lunch plus a blinky ring. All right, and we've got a drift boat. I mean, there's a lot going on here. So $1,100. Are you interested at all? You're out, Carl. It doesn't look like anyone's bidding against you. I'm going to go around the room one more time.
You and me, Carl.
All right.
Okay.
Carl Lincoln, you just bought it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carl. Woo!
Yes.
Via Perry. Wine pairings. Can he match it with a second wine pairing at the lake? He wants to buy the pairing. Only once. Okay.
Well, we got one.
Well, we have more. We have more coming up.
Right,
We have more coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're halfway through the oral auction, so I promised you we'd come back and chat with you a little bit about the capital campaign. If you're doing the math, and if you've read anything about what's going on tonight, we're trying to raise $200,000. Now, while we're doing pretty good, we need some help. And if you were here last year, you might remember we walked in a gift. It was from someone here in the community. They wanted to remain anonymous. And that gift was for $100,000. And we put that out as a challenge, and we made that challenge. So as luck would have it, a different couple, knowing that we were having this event tonight, also stepped up and said, you know, we really believe in what the organization is doing. We want to help you, and we want to be that challenge check in the room tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for $100,000. So, and I'd like to do what we did last year. If you've got some Sharpies, I want to pass this around. I just want each of you to sign this, because we're gonna have an opportunity, Shantae and myself, to meet with this couple in April and share with them how we did tonight. And our goal is to match that $100,000 tonight. So the furniture, for example, we auctioned off, the silent auction, the oral auction, all of that goes towards matching this gift of $100,000. So I'm about to bring up our second testimonial, and then after that we're going to go into the paddle raise. And many of you know what a paddle raise is. The hospital does it very well. They have an annual event, and I know there are other events here that do paddle raises. We did ours last year, of course, right here in this room. So when we finish the next testimonial, we'll go into the paddle raise. We'll start with a higher number, and we'll build our way, we'll go work our way down to 10,000, to 5,000, to 2,500, to 1,500, 1,000. We'll go all the way down to $100. And again, what we're trying to do is to match that check so that we can cash that check. And more than that, when we go down to the legislature on the 4th of March, we can tell them that tonight we raised $200,000. So that's the track, if you will, of how we get there. Chris Borgerding, will you come up? So, Chris, you and I have talked a little bit about this. Why don't we just stand? Chris, we're in a room full of people I know. You know many of these people here tonight. They're all special guests, but you have especially two guests that you'd like to introduce. Take this microphone.
Yes, I'd like to introduce my beautiful wife, Tina Borgerding, over here.
And who's the guy with the big smile on his face?
That's my son, Matthew Larson Borgerding. Yay. What a wonderful boy.
So you and I have had a chance, much like I've talked to Tim, you and I have had a chance to talk a little bit about Matthew. Would you share Matthew with this community and talk a little bit about him, please?
Well, I think a lot of people know Matthew pretty well. He's one of the most unique individuals I've ever known in my life. He's a wonderful boy. He loves everybody. He knows how to run a computer better than I, which doesn't say much, but it's better than me. Everybody loves Matthew. He was, his senior year in high school, he was the high school prom king. I mean, not the prom king, but anyway, the king and queen, whatever it was. And
look at that smile. Matthew, we're talking about you.
You should have seen him with that crown on his head walking up there with Bodine warning. Boy, I'll tell you. Anyway, there's a lot of things about Matthew that has really inspired Tina and I. He was 4 when we got together, and that was almost 25 years ago. So, he's just a great kid. I mean, he's just an inspiration to all of us.
So Matthew and part of the family is one side of the story, but Chris, we're here at an event talking about and celebrating and pushing towards Wallowa Valley Center for Wellness. How does Wallowa Valley Center of Wellness enter into your living room as a family?
Oh, you can't believe it, Mike. It was quite a story. Tina and I were both working a lot of hours. I was in beginning my business and working many, many hours a day. She had her yard care business. She would take him to the yards, and I would take him in the log truck, or, it goes back even further than that. But they came to us, Sharon Sprigg Flanders and Jean Pacherik. Without those two ladies in our lives, we were on the road to putting him in the home, and we all saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and we didn't want that, but they helped us immensely in our lives, and through their foundation, and found the money through the caregivers, And, you know, it's just, that's indescribably
Not only just for
wonderful.
you, though, Chris, I'm thinking that there was a quality of life for Matthew that the caregivers provided him as well, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, the caregivers, they take him to different functions. He has learned how to run a computer through this organization and read and write. His brain lobes don't communicate back and forth, so he can't speak at all. So, I mean, Tina and I, you know, he can point here and there, and we understand what he wants, but
He's pointing at you right now.
yeah. He's saying,
That smile says it all. He's, oh, come on, Dad.
yeah, he knows what I'm talking about, and he's a special child. He really is. But, you know, they have really come through for us with the caregivers and the amount of money that was financed through that in our early stages of our business, and now I'm going to repay us all for that.
It takes a community, doesn't it?
It does, and this community is the best in the world.
So that's worth a round of applause, I think. You know, when I was talking to Tim and his recovery and your story, again, is a story also about Wallowa Valley Center for Wellness. What's your hope or wish for your family, for the community, for Wallowa Valley Center for Wellness, for the campaign?
Well, the amount of money that they have put through us, you know, folks, this is a tremendous giving that we have to give as Wallowa County people. You know, we're the second largest county, and there's only 7,000 of us. We've never needed any help from anybody else in our lives here. I've been here 54 years in this county. And, you know, we've always taken care of ourselves, so this is a big thing for us, this building and all the organizations that are going to be in that. It's well worth the money that we're here tonight to come up with. And, you know, it's just you know, Wallowa County, don't you love it? You know, that's why we're here.
Chris, thank you. We just embrace you and your family, and we thank you for being here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, Chris, Tina, and Matthew.
Thank you, Chris.
So, shall we start the...
So, you know, I want to do a little call out, just kind of off script a little bit. So at your tables right now are glass hearts. Each one represents an individual heart. And the whole theme of this building and of this campaign is Hearts for Health. Because we believe that every heart has a story to tell. And we've been hearing those stories this evening. And I would like to thank Sterling Webb and his team and his beautiful wife for all of the glass hearts that you see at the table. Every single one of them are different, representing you.
And Shantae, we have actually an item that we'll auction a little bit later, and I'll come over to Sterling when we get to that item.
Fantastic.
But thanks for that shout out. So, are we ready to do the paddle race?
I think so.
So I've shared with you how we're going to do this, and we're going to start at a number of different levels. I'm going to go all the way down to $100. I'm probably going to start somewhere around $10,000 to get us started tonight on the paddle race. So you've heard both from Tim and from Chris, and this is the part of the program where we lean into you. This is where we start to send that message. I don't want you to trip on that cord there, or someone's going to be wearing whipped cream. This is the part of the program where you help us send that message to Salem. So I want to get started here with the fundraising. And we've got a number of different gifts identified at different levels. Is there anybody here that would like to make a gift of $10,000? Carl Lincoln.
Oh, gosh, Carl.
Number 252. Carl and Nancy Lincoln.
Thank you, Carl and Nancy.
Wow. Carl and Nancy, you know, last year when we did this and we had the $100,000 check,
you two were the ones that stood up and got us to 50. So thank you for starting us off tonight. Anyone else want to announce a leadership? Anyone else want to announce a leadership gift? Chris, you have something you want to share with us? Hang on a minute. Let me bring you the microphone here. Or you want to announce it from there?
I can now. Everybody can hear me.
All right.
Big old loud voice. This organization has helped me for the last 11 years, believe it or not, and I'm going to pledge $40,000.
Oh my gosh, Chris. Oh my goodness. Chris and Tina, thank you so much.
And Matthew. Wow. Well, so we're halfway there.
My goodness.
Carl and Borgerding family, we thank you so much. And I know that Tony and Doug Chrisman aren't here tonight, but I've been asked to announce a $10,000 pledge gift from them. So is there anyone else at $10,000? Anyone else here in the room at $10,000? Okay? 5,000. Let's try 5,000. Unless somebody's in between there. Anybody at $5,000? We've got some momentum going. Anyone else? I'm at the $5,000 level. Number 250, Stephen.
Stephen.
250 for 5,000. Stephen Cleaver. Wow. $5,000. Thank you. Anyone else at $5,000? The Hostetter family would like to announce a gift of $5,000.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Number 252. Number 242. $5,000. Wow. This is how we get it done, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we get it done. Anyone else at $5,000? Around the room. Around the room. $2,500. Let's try $2,500. Catherine.
Oh, Catherine. Thank you so much, Catherine.
And well.
Catherine, I
Thank
think
you
it's
both.
our birthday tonight.
So, Kimchi, it's your birthday and you're both giving? Wow.
I actually think it's our birthday tonight. Thank you,
Indeed
Catherine.
it is. $2,500. We appreciate Catherine and Stuart at $2,500. Anybody else at $2,500? Number 219. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you,
You and your
Larry.
wife, thank you.
Thank you
Number
very much.
238. Tammy, you
Kevin
with me?
Campbell,
Number
215.
238. Number 215.
Thank you so much, Kevin and Sue.
So 238, number 215 at $2,500. Anyone else at $2,500? Dan Du Bois, I know you had an announcement you wanted to share with us.
Yeah, last year my family made a donation.
What, did he move? Oh, no. He thought you were following him, I think. You have to come out. I think he thought you were following him.
Last year my family, we made a donation in memory of my first wife. Mary was originally Rathbun. She was also an employee of mental health, and she also suffered from mental health issues herself. And we made a donation for that. I talked to some of her family members, and they wanted to make some donations, and we probably have the most mileage on checks, one from Sacramento, one from San Francisco, one from Florida, and one from Portland.
Oh my
But
goodness.
it came up to $1,800 that
Wow.
her family has donated.
Thank you so much.
And just in the spirit of friendly family competition, my family will match that $1,800.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Thank you, Dan.
So that's $1,800 collected from family members, and you're matching that at another $1,800. Tammy, did you get that? All right.
Thank you.
Well, my goodness. Anyone else at $1,800? Let's try $1,500. Anyone at $1,500? Around the room? $225. Thank you, Tyler.
Tyler,
You and your
thank you.
wife, we appreciate you being here. At $1,500.
$282.
$282 at $1,500.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Woody and Megan.
Anyone else at $1,500? This is fantastic. Let's try 1,000. Let's try 1,000. $269 at $1,000.
Thank you so much, Ed and Marky.
Ed, a former board member. Number 239. Again, thank you very much
you
for
so
$1,000. Derek, thank you. 243 at $1,000. Anyone else at $1,000? Anyone else at $1,000? Okay. Gay, I know last year we announced that the board had done almost 15,000. We've had a few new board members join, and I know you did a little bit of fundraising. What would you like to share with us? And I know you went to see Elton John, and you want to talk about that, but we're not here to talk about.
I won't talk about Elton John. I just wanted to share that the board members give so much, and they're a great group of people. And we have, in donations, it's $800 this year. So I wanted to thank the board members for that. So
thank you, Gay.
Thank you, Gay. And that's on top of last year you came in and announced 15,000. So we appreciate you doing that. So we've done 1,000, 800. How about $500? Anybody at $500? Russell, thank you with Winding Waters,
Thank
number
you, Russell.
268, number 249 at $500, number 273 at $500. Tammy, you getting these? Number 230 at $500, number 260 at $500, number 212 at $500, number 228, thank you, at $500. Anyone else at $500? Westby Associates will do $500.
Thank you, Mike. All right.
$250, anybody? $250, anyone?
271.
$271 at $250.
258.
$258 at $250. $214 at $250. Anyone else at $250?
Thank you, Shannon.
Okay. Let's go to $100, and then we'll return to the auction. All right?
Sounds great.
All right. Anyone at Russell? You were already in at 500. Are you doing 100 too? Oh, that's okay.
Thank you.
Number 268,
Great.
Tammy at 100. Number 278 at 100. Number 204 at 100. Number 288 at 100. Number 245 at 100. Oh my goodness, isn't this been fun?
It's really fun. Hey.
You were so generous, ladies and gentlemen. I mean to tell you. Oh, 279 at $100.
279. Thank you so much.
All right.
And
229 at $100. Anyone else at $100? Nice earrings, Lem.
Don't we have a...
276 at $100. No, leave it for now. 276 at $100. Anyone else at $100?
235.
235 at $100. Okay. Wow. Well, I tell you what. Let's go to the oral auction now.
Sounds good.
All right. We'll give some time to get all this counted and
All
caught
right.
up. Give
Thank you
yourselves
so much,
a round of applause.
This is incredible.
You know, I do, as a consultant, I do lots of events, and this group and this community is amongst one of the most generous. So again, thank you. Thank you very much. All right.
All right.
Item number 8.
Okay. I just want to say, this is a little preface for this. I did not name this auction item. I did not name it. Supersonic Jet. Enjoy an Asian-inspired Whole30 meal at the Jet McBurney home for you and 9 friends. So those of you who know me know that I really like to cook. That's kind of my thing. So I thought we'd start off the new year with something healthy, and if you'd like gluten-free, vegan, I don't know, anything that doesn't include anything, I can cook it.
How about wings and beer for the Super Bowl tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So you did this last year, right?
I did it last year. We partnered with DV Wolf, and we did an Asian-inspired Thai food,
Okay.
and that sold 3 times. So we were busy cooking.
All right.
Well, I wasn't busy cooking. Kobe was cooking a lot.
All right. So
I was prepping.
let's start this at $500 at your house.
Yep.
All right.
At my house.
Who's in?
Oh my God! Really?
Number 215 is in.
Oh, Kevin. Nice.
All right.
It'll get you out here more, Kevin.
Looking for $600. Looking for $600.
Okay, I promise. I'll add some fat if you want some fat. Come on. Okay, let's go.
207 is in at $600.
All right.
Looking for 700. Back in at 700. Thank you, Kevin. Are you in at 800, sir? Looking for 800. If we did 2 at 750, would that be? Oh, 278's in at 800.
All right.
278's in at 800. Looking for 900. Kevin's in at 900. Looking for 1,000. 207 is in at 1,000. Kevin, if I do 2 of these at 1,000, will you both play? Okay, we're in. 2 of them.
Woo! Lots of cooking. Okay, thanks you guys. That'll be fun.
Thank you. Did you get the bid numbers? Okay. Number 9.
All right.
Oh, this
Number
is
9.
Sterling, come up and join me, would you?
Yeah.
And can I get that piece of glass, please?
So this is One of a Kind by Moonshine Glass Art. And for those of you who have not seen Sterling's new shop, which used to be the old Enterprise Electric building, and now has a big new sign that says Moonshine Glass Art on top of it. It is phenomenal. Custom made blown glass vase by Sterling Webb, along with 1.5 hours glass blowing class at Moonshine Glass Art.
So,
Oh, and it comes with this light up stand. It's really groovy.
Sterling, tell us all about it.
So, I blew this glass.
It's a really, wow.
Thank you very much.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we're done.
Sterling, ladies and gentlemen.
So I made all the hearts that are sitting at your table tonight, and had the honor of doing that. 2nd year in a row. Huge honor. Great privilege and great organization. I really believe in this. This piece here is a cobalt blue vase with a silver wrap. As you saw earlier on display, it lights up from the bottom, comes with a base. Yeah, just super honored to be a part of this, so bid it up.
So stay with us. So one of a kind, right? I mean, it's not like we can do 2 of these. This is the only one.
This is the only one.
This is the only one. I would call it priceless. Who's going to start us out at $500? $500 to get us started. Right there, Dan DuBois. Russell, are you in at 6? Nope. All right, Dan, you have the bid at 500 on a one-of-a-kind piece. That's really cool. And you did all the hearts last year.
I did.
And this year. And next year.
Yeah, and you get to go blow glass
that's
and
right.
learn the art of glass making. I mean, it's so cool.
You also get an hour and a half with me.
Oh, okay, 282.
Any way you want to spend that hour and a half, whether
got a
it's
bid at
in the glass
282.
shop or we go for a walk around the lake. I mean, I'll pretty much do whatever you want. So,
have you considered a career in fundraising?
I thought about it.
All right, okay. So we were at 500 and we had a bid. Who bid 600?
Woody Wolf, 282.
Woody, you're in at 600. All right, and that's before we threw in the walk around.
So I'm like the future Chihuly. This is an investment.
Oh, okay, all right. Looking for 700. Looking for 700. Wow, what a deal at 600. Woody's got it. All right, anyone else? I'm going to go around the room. Looking for 700. Oh, he's back in.
221's back in.
282, he's back in.
282, back in.
All right, so we're at 800, so it'd be 900 back to you, Dan. We're at 8. Oh.
I'd like to introduce my wife, Emily Bright, who's also
What are you gonna
who's
give her
also
away?
a part of the hour and a half, if you like. So we or
hilarious.
she will spend an hour and a half with you, blowing glass, or almost whatever you like.
Almost. All right, listen, this is a family-friendly event.
Almost, he said. Oh, come here for a minute. No, you stay there. All right, so we're at $900. All right, we're going to sell this at 1,000. You're going to get us to 1,000.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Come on, you can do it, people. It's only one more, to get up to
One
that.
more bid at 1,000.
One more.
and it's yours.
Yeah.
We're at 900.
Yes, I will provide lunch. I can do
Oh,
that.
lunch also,
Yeah.
good.
And wine or beer, whichever you prefer, or non-alcoholic beverage.
Right now.
All right.
All right, 900 once. 900 twice. Right there. Woody.
Woody.
He's in at 900. We let him have it at 900? Do you? Okay. Lem, you're losing friends in a hurry. Okay, 900 and a blinky ring. Woody, you own it.
All right. Thank you so much, Woody.
Thank you very much.
Sterling, Emily, thank you. All
You both
right.
are good. Very good.
That was hilarious.
Can you? I would
Okay.
hate to be responsible for that.
So the next item up for bid is Lundy Brews and Bites. Enjoy Nick Lundy's Garage Microbrews with gourmet pizza and dessert at their beautiful historic home in Joseph for you and 5 friends. For those of you who do not know them or who have not experienced their brew facility, it's amazing. It's beautiful. There's a little bar that you can saddle up to and create your own brews. It's pretty cool. All right, Mike.
I thought we agreed that you just read the title and I'd get to do the fun
Oh,
part.
sorry.
So you.
I'm talky pants.
No, okay,
Huh,
that's all right.
sorry,
But
talky,
you know what?
talky.
That's a very fun package.
No, it's a really
And
fun
It was very
package.
competitive last year.
Yep, it
Carl, I
was.
think you bought that, didn't you, last year?
Yeah, how was it, Carl?
How was it?
Awesome.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, that's cool.
Okay.
Really cool.
Wow, 10 gallons.
That's a lot of beer.
I might bid on it for that.
That's great.
All right. Who's going to start us at, say, $300 on that?
10 gallons.
243.
243.
Yeah, was it the 10 gallons I got you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking for 400. Looking for 400. Derek, if you get that for 300, that's a steal. Looking for 400. Brewing beer at the Lundys.
Brewers here, I guess. Oh, 228.
228.
228. Okay.
Love it. All right.
Now we're talking.
There we are. 228. It's in at 400. Derek? 500, he says. Okay.
243, 500.
500. Looking for 600. Looking for 600. We only have a few more items, so I'm going to sell it. 500 once. Derek, you're going to brew beer. $500.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, next item up for bid is Packing the Wallowas by Kendrick Mulholt. It's a beautiful photograph of Barry Cox packing into the Wallowas. Here we go. It's a gorgeous
This is
photo.
a really nice piece, and the Lincolns framed this.
And donated it, right?
Well, no, they secured the donor, and then,
Okay.
there was a loose print. And,
I
and
see.
then they had it framed for us. So I think it's way undervalued at $350. Beautiful piece. Let's start it at 350. It's a signed piece. Walk it around the other side, if you would, Vanna.
It is really beautiful.
Opening bid at 350. Anybody? Tell me where you want to start. 250. Number 250 at $250. 300. $300. 216 at 300.
216.
Stephen, 350. You interested? Lem, I'm going to walk you over here, please. I want to sell it. All right. The bid's at 3. Looking for 350. Looking for 350.
250 at 350.
250 at 350. Looking for 400. 208's at 400. Looking for 450. Looking for 450. I'm going to sell it at 400. 450, 252.
252, 400.
Looking for 450.
219 at 450.
Looking for 500. Looking for 500. Larry, you've got it at 450. Going once.
It's going to look nice in the hospital. 208
Going.
is in at 500.
500. Chris, you own it at 500. Larry, you back in at 550? Yes, he is. 219 at 550. Yes, please.
He was extremely reticent to let his work go at auction. He just thought,
I bet he was.
He was like, no, I'm not doing it. And then I asked him, and he said, Carl, you're the only guy in the whole county that could have gotten me to say yes. And that is a hell of a deal, I'm telling you. Whoever gets that gets a real deal. That's Mohold all the way.
Yeah. Thanks, Carl.
So a hell of a deal, not just a deal, a hell of a deal. And now that's what I call a testimonial. All right? Larry, you own it right now at 550. I'm looking for 600. On that testimony, I'm looking for 600. Stephen, anybody? Going once? Hell of a deal. Going twice? Thank you. $550.
Thank you so much.
Bidder number? Number 219. Okay.
All right. The next item up, this is our second to the last item for the evening, is a painting by Whitney Freya. Whitney puts the healing elements into all her art. Get an original painting made just for the Hearts for Health event and take that healing energy home. There's also a book included as well of her work and the theory behind how she paints.
What's the opening on that?
Valued at 500.
500. So I've heard a lot about this art. A number of you have talked to me about it. It's very special art. It's also, there's a number of things in this book about her art. Devi, could you walk that around, please? Let's start it at 350. Starting at 350 with the book. Asking 350 for the book and you get the art piece. 238 is in at 350. Looking for 400. Book and art piece. Looking for 400. Number 238 owns it right now at 350. Wow. Quite a value with that. Going once. Looking for 400. 208's in at 400. You in at 450? She's in at 450, Chris. Looking for 500. Looking for 500. Any interest? Around the room at 450, looking for 500.
I think she's got it.
You own it.
Thank you so much, Gail. All right.
Bidder number, please.
238.
So I'm kind of excited about this last item. I have never in my life auctioned off a tattoo. I mean, are you kidding?
It's pretty cool.
Right?
It's pretty cool.
All right, how many of you have tattoos? How many in places you could show us? All right, I thought so. So this is 4 hours. Where are, come up here, will you? both of you come up here.
Yeah,
An artist and her work. All right. Talk to us about this.
Locally, lived in Joseph since I was about 1.5. Started my first tattoo shop here in Joseph. It was kind of scary, but I think it helped me get to where I am today. I've been doing it for almost 12 years, and $500 is about a 4 or 5 hour piece. It's a larger piece. You can get probably a good quarter sleeve if you're ready for it. I would not mind breaking it up into 2 people if you wanted to. And I would be more than happy to help you design your own special piece because every tattoo tells a story. So.
And who's the gentleman with you?
This is my husband, who is also a tattoo artist.
So tell us about tattoo artists. You're in the same business, right?
Yes.
So everything she says is right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And
Always.
Huh?
Everything.
And so are you in the same business or separate businesses?
Same. We work
Same.
together.
You work together. Okay. So we're selling 4 hours of tattoo art with you. The value is $500. And we can break it up. Now, I tell you, this is a test for him, because if this goes well here, in every market I go to, I'm going to be selling tattoos.
Nice.
I think this is a terrific idea. I mean to tell you, I've sold all kinds of stuff. This is really, I like this idea. All right, so who will start us off at $300? Oh, yeah, walk around and show everybody your tattoos.
All right.
Let's get this going now. This is the last item of the night. Okay?
Last item.
I'm going to start it at $300. Tina's in at $300. 209 is in at $300. Okay. All right, listen up. We're at $300. Who will give me $400 on tattoo? $400. Come on, you know you want one. Dan, did you just raise your number? Dan DuBois? I can't imagine. No, I didn't think so. All right. Gay, I gotta believe. I have to believe.
Oh yeah, Gay.
Little
It's
Elton
right up
John
your alley.
sleeve on your, Grateful Dead? Grateful Dead?
Grateful Dead.
Oh my goodness.
Gay, you could put Elton's glasses
All right.
on you somewhere.
$300 is no money for 4 hours with this wonderful tattoo artist. Are you bidding? What was that? What?
Oh my God.
What did I hear you say?
Oh my word.
Oh my goodness. All right, who raised? Well, no, that he'd be bidding against his wife. That would be a short conversation.
Well, we had that happen last year.
Well, that's true. Are you bidding $400? He's bidding $400. How about that, huh?
It's hilarious. If memory serves me correctly, the Swartz
They
actually bid each other in a war. Yeah. Not for tattoos, no. For a dinner, I believe.
Now, Tina, you're going to go in at $500.
It's pretty funny.
That is fantastic. So we have the husband and wife. They own it at $500, and we're going to sell it to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
You know what? I tell you, I'm in Yakima next Saturday night, and I'm going to try to sell me a tattoo. So, do you have a little something you can give me here? Are you ready? You know, we've auctioned everything off. There, you had that.
Yes,
you had that one.
we're done.
That one little item on the side there. I'd like to see that. Okay. So I want to hang on a second. So I saw this. Now there's a story about this, right? Now I went to Catholic school. Right? And I mean to tell you, when I saw this, I thought, oh no. Because
Did you you have PTSD?
Sister Mary Leona, I saw a little bit of this in Catholic school, and then I thought about, well, you know, I'm half Scottish. It could be a cricket paddle, but it's actually a cheese board, right? And it's made by that, what's his name? Tyler Hayes, right? And I was going to auction this off, but here's what I'd like to do. You have been such a generous audience. The person whose birthday is closest to tonight, we're just going to give it to you. And while we're doing that, we're going to tell you what we've raised tonight. So you hang on to this. I'm going to get you your announcement, Shantae.
Okay.
Okay? And this is what you get to announce.
Oh my gosh.
All right? So first of all,
Really?
that, and then what did we raise tonight? We had to get to 200,000 to get the match. Where are we at?
$219,525. I didn't know if we were going to do it. Oh my gosh, you guys. I cannot. I'm going to get.
Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen.
Jackie O, I'm not going to cry.
I was.
I'm really overwhelmed with your generosity, with the time that you took out of your day to come here, with making this a priority and seeing our vision. And I just can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart.
And with pride, we will take this message to Salem with us, that tonight we raised $219,000. I honestly, when we came in tonight, I said, you know, it's going to be a real stretch. We may be selling the salt and pepper shakers by the end of the night. But you know what? Some of you, many of you, you raised your paddle, you surprised us. And I just, again, I say thank you. Now, whose birthday is closest to tonight?
Well, Catherine's birthday is on tonight. It's perfect. Thank you. Happy birthday.
So, Catherine, is it a paddle, a cricket board, or a cheese board? Oh! I hope you heard that. She said it depends on how good he is. All right, last words to you, Shantae. Thank you for the honor and the privilege of being here tonight.
Yes. Thank you, Mike. And thanks to all of you. Have a great evening. If you'd like help checking out, we have a whole team of people by the front door who are happy to help. And you heard Lem. He will deliver anything to you tomorrow or the next day. So. And if you have any questions for Mike about personalizing your giving, or if you have any questions about consulting and fundraising, I really do encourage you to reach out to Mike. He's been really, really helpful to us. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Okay. Can you run that back?
So your pledge form is in your packet. You can fill out the pledge form. If that's easier, you can just fill out your pledge form, or otherwise you can proceed to checkout. We take time to do what we're doing tonight. And I can tell you professionally, I see too many times where checks are cashed, money's raised, and we don't take time to do this. And you all do it so well. And so we have an event tonight where we just get to say thank you. Because of all of you, we're now right on that precipice of this money coming from the legislature, $2.5 million, ladies and gentlemen, $2.5 million. And you didn't come here to hear me speak, and you're going to hear others speak this evening. I know that Senator Hansel and Rep. Barreto very much wanted to be represented in here in the room, and we have letters from them tonight so that they will actually be here and you will share some words from them. But I would be wrong if I didn't tell you we are coming back with the annual Hearts for Health event next February. We're already working on it. Many of you have attended that, and it's just so important as I look around the garden here. And let's thank our hosts, the Lundys, for providing this wonderful venue. Okay. And the food from Apple Flat, is it Apple Flat? I got that. Delicious. Thank you. Really, really good food. There are sponsors that made this possible tonight, so make sure you remember them. Both agencies are here tonight, which is just great. You're going to hear both from our board presidents and from Nick and Shantae. So with that, Gay, you have something as board president, and Russell as board president. You're going to start us off with something here.
I wish Rita Coolidge, my Cherokee sister, could be here to sing this, so you're stuck with me tonight. Winde-ah-ho, winde-ah-ho, winde-ah, winde-ah, ho, 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 hey-ya, hey-ya, ya, 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 ya. That's a welcome blessing to all of you. So I wanted, that's in my native Cherokee, and so I wanted to tell you all thank you very much. We have appreciated everything that everyone has done, and there's a phone. And we could not do this without everyone. And there's a whole long list of people, but one person that I have just enjoyed getting to know so much, and it's my, I would say, partner in crime, but he's a lot better than I am, is the chairman of the board of Winding Waters, Russell Peterson.
Thank you. Well, my wife tells me that when I'm out and running down the halls of Safeway that I bend people's ears. I get before a crowd like this and I am a man of few words. So a few words. Number one, I just want to say how inspirational all of you are to me and to this group. You have just done amazing things. I think of the dedication. I think of the actions that have been taken and pursued, and I think of the generosity of time, of personal resources, of the Lundys offering this beautiful place to meet tonight. I have just been so blessed to be a part of this, and I thank you all, and please enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Gay. Thank you, Russell. So I'd like to ask both Shantae and Nick, they're both on deck here to come up. And again, ladies and gentlemen, it's because of the good work. You came to the Hearts for Health event, many of you twice. And when we were asked by the legislature, what did your community do? In both those events, we raised how much?
$582,000 in 2 events.
In 2 events, right? And at a sellout crowd of 85 people, right?
Both times.
Both times. I mean, it's just, I tell you, I've been doing this a long time. That just doesn't happen. And so when people start to ask, when the legislature started to ask, and both of you testified, it was a huge point, a huge exclamation point for us to make that, yes, our community is in, and they're in a very big way. So I know that both Senator Hansel and Rep. Barreto would like to be here. Both of you have both personal messages and letters you'd like to share. So Shantae, if you'd start, please.
Sure. Thank you. So I'll just read a letter that was sent to us by Bill Hansel, and he is in Nashville currently this week at a some sort of a training. I'm not sure what senators do to be trained, but it sounded really interesting to me. Good evening. I sure wish I could be with you tonight to help celebrate the successful funding of the special project of what I call the Integrated Health Care Services for people living in Wallowa County. I am, however, attending a conference in Nashville, which I had committed to attend several months ago. Otherwise, I would be there in a heartbeat. This project was a real team effort, and all of you are to be commended for the successful outcome. Thank you for letting me be part of that team. I would do a shout out by name, but I would most likely leave someone out. Suffice it to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you great people who helped make it happen. I was blessed to have been part of a team and will be there for the ribbon cutting. Best wishes and God bless. Sincerely, Bill Hansel. Yeah.
So I get to read the long letter. I don't know. Huh?
Do you want to hold something?
It's only a few pages, don't worry. Page and a half. Page and a half. All right, so this is a letter from Rep. Barreto, who wished he could make it, but here we go. So he says, "Congratulations. It's a great feeling to experience, celebrate, and to be a part of such a successful venture. I'm sorry I can't be there to party with you. In this case, as in others, projects like this usually come after an idea becomes a vision, then a hope, then after considerable thought and discussion, it becomes a possibility. It then takes a lot of hard work from those who come alongside and share in the concept. Then it becomes a common goal to work toward. Inordinate amounts of time, energy, commitment, and hard work have paid off in another big step in the drive toward the finish line. Today is a day to celebrate the hard work of so many people who had a vision, determination, commitment, and tenacity to see this dream take another huge step toward fruition." That's the first paragraph. The vision here was to integrate primary care and mental health in a model that is embraced as the future of healthcare and provide those services in one location to better serve this community and practically and efficiently.
I think you really need it.
The vision, the approved $2.5 million funding from Salem will help to create a state of Oregon model of integrated services that will bring medical and mental health therapy together. I would like to recognize and thank those whose hard work and dedication made the state funding for the Wellness Center possible. Both agencies' boards of directors, employees of both agencies, the community, for support of 2 Hearts for Health events that raised over $580,000. The legislature always wants to see a match as well as show community investment and support for projects. Challenge pledges from the local community demonstrated to the legislature that the community and Eastern Oregon support this important integrated care model. Community agencies, local law enforcement, school district, and board of county commissioners, among many others, provided support letters for this important and viable model of integrated care for the state of Oregon. Ways and Means co-chair Senator Johnson and Senator Steiner Hayward supported funding for this project along with Senator Bill Hansel, who has incredible relationships in Salem, and through those relationships, the ability to advance projects in this district. Shantae Jett, Dr. Elizabeth Powers, Nick Powers, Ted Thorne, and Michael Wilson were also great support for this funding from the legislature. I would like to say thank you to those whose work behind the scenes helped with the fundraising goals, those who volunteered their time to this worthy cause, and those who contributed financially with their hard-earned dollars, who believe in this project and have become an integral part of it. None of this happens in a vacuum, and in this case, as in many, it takes an entire community's involvement to win the day. Congratulations, Rep. Greg Barreto. Yeah. So the only other thing I was thinking about 100 things. One thing I was going to add. So more than 4 years ago now, Shantae and Liz, Dr. Powers, and Maria Weir, who couldn't make it tonight, but you never know, might still show up, sat down and wrote this document, A Consortium for a Healthy Community, when they first thought about how can we do something like this. And their vision was a thriving community. And the mission that they came up with for this project was connecting people to services that address the social determinants of health, such that all have equal opportunities to lead healthy, meaningful, and productive lives. So that's pretty meaningful to this day. I mean, that goal has definitely, or that mission definitely resonates, and even more so today. And then what they wrote back in 2015, the goal of this project was to provide a platform that facilitates access to resources to empower individuals and families to engage in actions needed to achieve personal health and wellness. That's a little long-winded, but this is a platform for people to engage in personal health and wellness that these 3 leaders dreamed of more than 4 years ago, and even before that, but they put it in writing, and we've been working toward it ever since. And we all wish it could be happening faster, but this is now very, very real, and with state dollars, it's very, very real. Pretty exciting.
Funny
To hear those words, right? Like you helped write that.
That was a long time ago.
4 years ago.
That was a long time ago, and I remember us sitting around this round table that is now, I don't even know what it is. I think it's probably an exam room, and Mountain View Medical Group's office, you know, in the medical office building. And we used to sit in there and literally bring napkin sketchings of building ideas that we had to facilitate this vision and this dream that we had. And it started actually, I'm gonna say, back in 2006 with Stephen Cleaver and Liz Powers, Dr. Liz Powers, meeting for coffee at Red Rooster. And this is something that they had talked about, collaborative care and how are we going to serve the community as a whole person, not dividing the heart or the head from the body, but really how do we serve the person as a whole person. And so this was thinking that has been a long time coming. It's a dream that has been talked about for a really long time. It's moments like these where it just kind of hits me all of a sudden that, oh my gosh, we're actually doing this, you know? And we had an interior design meeting yesterday, and I was like, whoa, this is happening, you know?
Picking out countertops.
Yeah, it was weird. It's pretty special. So, and again, I can't express the senator's words enough to say that we cannot do this in a vacuum. We cannot do this without all of you sitting here. And the amount of money that this community's raised in 2 events is unprecedented. We have never seen anything like that, ever, in this community. And it gives me goosebumps to talk about it. You know, I brag about it all over the state. And I'm just so proud of our community for understanding our vision, not thinking we're nutty, and really getting behind us, because it really made a big difference in Salem, and I just can't thank you enough. So, and to our staff, right? Our staff, hours and hours and hours behind the scenes. Thank you so much. Amy and Tasha did a beautiful. I wasn't even a part of this. They were like, hey, we're going to have this appreciation party on the 8th. You got to make it. And I'm like, that's going to be tough, but I'll be there. So, you know, there's a lot that goes on, and hours of dedication to the goal, and it's really special. So thank you kindly, and we look forward to giving Friday. We're going to give Friday tours of the building, and we hope to see you there, and yeah.
Keep it moving forward now.
What was that? Timeline. So approximately 18 months from when we clear off the gravel and start the foundation. So and let me tell you something. For those of you that don't know, we sold headquarters. And my staff, I thought, was going to panic. Like, what? And but that was part of the plan. And we were able to have this wonderful buyer, Dr. Sheffield, and his team, who needed a building that was just as awkward as HQ. Awesome. So they're gonna remodel it, and it'll be a great space for them. But that required us to move. So the only building in town that could house all of us was the Crossroads. And I don't know if any of you know this, but they suffered tremendous water damage about 3 years ago. So we worked out a deal with Brett Wiggins, who's very kind, who owns the building. He lives in Hawaii. We've done all of this by phone. I've never met the man in person. It's very weird. And so we negotiated this whole thing, this rent and the tenant improvements. And we asked Derek if he would like to help us do all the tenant improvements to allow us to get in there by the end of August. And I will say that I have never, and I've been part of a lot of jobs, I've never seen a job run as well as this job. And it gives me great confidence in Derek going forward with this building, because his team is spot on every day. They do exactly what they say they're going to do, and we're going to be able to move in on time. So very excited about that. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, you'll be seeing us August 28th in the L. corner. Don't get hit by a car.
That's great. Good.
Okay.
Okay. Russell, yes.
Yeah, my 72-year-old brain, when I said, man, a few words, one of the words that...
Time's up.
I didn't get in, and just, I look at this group, it's community. That, you guys have been saying it, that's what it's about. None of this was possible without community. This is an amazing community. When the need arises, the community stands up. We are all together. We're all part of this. Congratulations to all of you.
Well said. Thank you, Russell. And I can tell you, in traveling 3 states and doing many projects, I love telling this story because events are hard to do. Amy and Tosca know, and those of you who have attended, we've made it look easy. But when someone in another state says, we want to do an event and raise some money, I point to this event and say, yeah, it's possible. So, Amy, Tosca, anything you want to say about the February Hearts for Health? We're good? Okay. Sterling, you want to come forward? We're going to do a drawing. Have we got... Okay. Sterling, you did all the hearts for tonight, as typical on...
Once again. Thank you, Sterling. Yeah, thank you guys.
So one of you is going to take this home tonight. Sterling, you want to tell...
I think I got a raffle ticket too. I better check
Oh,
mine.
I thought you're getting your wallet out. Go ahead and pull it out.
Oh, wait. So that one's torn in half.
You want me to pull
Yep.
it? $364.
Last 3 numbers.
She got it.
I think we should draw again.
No, I don't think so.
No. Louise, can we draw again?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. Louise would like to donate that back. All right. She would like to donate that back
Louise,
to the...
you get a free glass blowing class. So just pocket that one.
Yeah.
All right, this one feels right. 331.
Oh, that's me. No, I'm kidding. No. 331.
Let me go check my ticket. I put it in the
What if it's me? Do I get to keep it?
No. So in closing, everyone, please stay and mingle and enjoy the food and the beverages. We'll see. Oh. Well done. Well, thank Louise.
Okay.
Well done. That worked out really well.
Yeah.
It worked out the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Thank you for your generous and saving my career.
We'd all be going home.
You're like, huh, how did that work? Yeah, I guess we're going on a shopping trip tomorrow. Maybe. Oh my, that was good. Your husband's such a great guy. You know, it just. Anyway. So you've got a couple of these now.
Yeah. I was thinking with the colors that we have, because I have a white one.